Alright, welcome back. This is my Streets of New Capenna limited set review. I was going over the multicolor spells, and I just have to apologize. I do not know what is happening. Different components on my device is just like my computer either restarts randomly or a program will randomly shut off, a program will randomly crash, and I've just been troubleshooting and troubleshooting, and I don't know. I'm gonna have to take it to the shop because I'm having too many issues. Like my secondhand computer from Facebook Marketplace was better than my top-notch tier computer. So thank you to everyone who bears with me through this process as I try to work with the technology I have and improve my setup. I do experience growing pains. But anyways, we're gonna get back to the Streets of New Capenna limited set review. I was discussing Unleash the Inferno, and for 4 mana, one generic black, red, and green, you get an instant that deals 7 damage to target creature or walker. When it deals excess damage, you can destroy a target artifact or enchantment with mana value less than or equal to the amount of excess damage. I think that's very relevant. It's going to take out a lot of things. Wouldn't mind if it was just 3 mana since it's already red, black, and green, but no worries. We're going to give that a 3. And it could easily go up to a 3.5 um, or a 4, depending on how valuable it is. All right. Next, we have Soul of Emancipation. 7 mana, 4 generic, a green, white, and a blue, Bant colors, creature avatar. When Soul of Emancipation enters the battlefield, destroy up to 3 other target non land permanents. For each of those permanents, its controller creates a 3/3 white angel creature token with flying. What? Oh my goodness. I'm giving it a 4.5 just off the top of my head. Why, you ask? Well, it's a 7 mana 5/7. Not the greatest, but you can blow up 3 other permanents. Those could be your permanents, not your non land permanents. So you can turn your little 1/1 guys or whatever you have just trash. You can even turn treasures into angels. So if this had flying, I feel like it would have instant be a 4.5, but I'm gonna have to wind that back down to a 4. A 7 mana 5/7 is not impressive, but the ability on that is really impressive. I gotta wait to see how that plays out. Next, we have Endless Detour. Oh, let's get this off the screen. All right, it is a 3 mana green, white, blue Bant color instant. The owner of target spell, non land permanent, or card in graveyard puts it on top or bottom of their library. I don't know how to rate that. I don't. I don't know how to rate it. I gotta give it a 1 for now. Like it's like a bounce spell that interacts with multiple areas of the game. It can interact with being cast. It can interact with the graveyard, and it can interact with the board. I'll give it a 2.5. A lot of these multicolored cards are just very difficult to rate because the multicolor is going to be an issue. I don't care if the set is focused on multicolor, I still think it's going to be a slight problem. All right, we got these charms coming up. Obscura Charm, 3 mana, white, blue, black instant. Choose one, return target multicolored permanent card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. That's pretty sweet. Counter target instant or sorcery spell. That's okay. Destroy target creature or planeswalker with mana value 3 or less. Okay, I'm gonna give it a 3. I think it does a lot. Something that, for 3 mana you're not gonna complain about. Maestro's Charm. 3 mana, blue, black, red, instant. Choose one, look at the top 5 cards of your library, put one of those cards into your hand, rest into your graveyard. Only one? Each opponent loses 3 life, you gain 3 life. Maestro's Charm deals 5 damage to target creature or planeswalker. This card's fine. The options is what makes it good. Any of the options by itself is just like okay, but except for the 5 damage to target creature or planeswalker, that's pretty potent. So I'm gonna give this a 3 as well. Maybe it should be 3.5. Next we have Riveteer's Charm. 3 mana, black, red, green, instant. Choose one. Target opponent sacrifices a creature or planeswalker they control with highest mana value among creatures and planeswalkers they control. Exile the target. Exile, exile the top 3 cards of your library. Until your next end step, you may play those cards, or you can exile target player's graveyard. I think that's totally fine. This gets a 3 to 3.5 for me as well. These charms are better than the what were they called? The Ascendancies, in my opinion, by a long shot. Like that does a lot. It takes out their like potentially the strongest creature or walker, gives you mad card advantage, especially late game. I'm not gonna complain about that at all. Next we have Carver Ready Charm. 3 mana, red, green, white, instant. Choose one. Carbureted Charm deals damage equal to the number of creatures you control, target creature or walker. Creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain trample until end of turn. Create two 1/1 green and white citizen creature tokens. It's okay. I'll definitely give it a 3. We'll have to see. We'll just have to see how good it is. Because I think it's decent enough. Can deal damage, can pump the squad, give them trample. I think that's very relevant. And Broker's Charm. 3 mana. Bant colors, green, white, blue, instant. Choose one. Target creature you control gets +1/+0 until end of turn. It deals damage equal to its power to target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls. Destroy target enchantment or draw 2 cards. I'll give it a 3 because I think people can play it proper, but it's not the most exciting to me. I really want to give it like a 2.5 to a 3. That's what I'm thinking at the moment. Next we have uh-oh. Next we have Quasar, Augur of Agonies, 4 mana, white, wait, 1 generic, a white, blue, black. It's Esper colors, legendary creature, Cephalid Advisor. Whenever you draw a card, target opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Whoa! What? It's a 3/4. They're gonna want to get this off the board quick. Because if they don't, every time you like every turn it's ticking down on them. I'm giving this a 3 to 3.5. Every turn is ticking down on them. And if you draw multiple cards in a turn, oh man. Yeah, this I see why it's legendary. Quasar Augur of Agonies is looking pretty sweet. Makes Esper look really good. Cormella, Glamour Thief. 4 mana, 1 generic, blue, black, red. Grixis colors, legendary creature, vampire, rogue. Has haste and an ability. Pay 1, tap, add, blue, black, red. Spend this mana only to cast instant or sorcery spells. When Cormella Glamour Thief dies, return up to 1 instant or sorcery from your graveyard to your hand. It's a 2/4. Eh. So you pay 4. Then if you have a mana, you can. So you've had 5 mana, you pay 4, play it, have a mana open, you tap it, get 3 more mana, and play a spell. Is that even worth it? I wouldn't. I argue it's not. I'd have to see. I'm gonna just give this like a 2 to 2.5. I'm gonna have to see how other people play it before I give it any kind of hype. Next we have Mr. Orfeo the Boulder. 4 mana, 1 generic, a black, red, and green. Legendary creature, Rhino Warrior. Whenever you attack, double target creature's power until end of turn. It's a 2/4. Eh, Mr. Orfeo. That's funny. No, this is kind of like at a 1 for me. A 4 drop 2/4 just won't cut it. Rocco, Copper Ready Caterer, X red, green, white, so Naya colors, Elf Druid, legendary creature. When Rocco, Copper Ready Caterer enters the battlefield, if you cast it, you may search your library for a creature card with mana value X or less, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. What? Okay, Rocco, show up and show out. That's a pretty cool ability for limited. Just find me whatever creature I want and put on the field. I can run multiples of these all day. I'm definitely giving this like a 3.5 to a 4. I like it a lot. I think it could even go better than that. Like, it can essentially just bring 2 creatures to the board. Like, you play this and bring another buddy to the board. What's the problem? All right. Next, we have Lagrella the Magpie, a green, white, and blue legendary creature, human soldier. Uncommon. When Lagrella the Magpie enters the battlefield, exile any number of other target creatures controlled by different players until Lagrella leaves the battlefield. When an exile card enters the battlefield under your control this way, put 2+1/+1 counters on it. What? Am I reading this right? Any number of other target creatures controlled by different players? So is that suggesting just 1 creature exile per player? I don't know if I can even evaluate this. This is kind of like ambiguous. Because, I mean, it's exiling something. I'm giving this a 3 to 3.5 right now until I can get some more details on the effect of that card. Because if it's just coming down as a 3 drop and I exile as many creatures as I want, I don't think Wizards would do that. It has to be like 1 creature per player. Like if there's 4 players, I can boom, 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 like 4 creatures. I would think. Next we have Nimble Larcenist. 3 mana, white, blue, black, Esper colors. Creature, bird, rogue, uncommon, flying. When Nimble Larcenist enters the battlefield. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose an artifact, instant, or sorcery from it and exile that card. It's a 2/1. A 3-drop 2/1. Eh, not impressed. The fact that it can look in the opponent's hand, I think, is going to make it playable, though. I'll give it a 2.5 to a 3. I think people are going to play it against me, and I'm going to be upset. It only gets an artifact, instant, or sorcery, so it doesn't hit your creatures, but still, that's going to be a tad frustrating. Next, we have Corpse Appraiser. 3 mana, blue, black, red, Grixis colors, creature, vampire, rogue. When Corpse Appraiser enters the battlefield, exile up to one target creature from a graveyard. If a card is put into exile this way, look at the top 3 cards of your library, then put one of those cards into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. Okay, 3-drop, 3/3. I think that's totally fine. And then potentially exiles a card from the opponent's graveyard. I mean, if there's some graveyard recursion, that's fine. And then it gives you card advantage. I'll give it a 3 to 3.5. Like I'm having to gauge them a little bit because I don't know just yet, but off top it looks pretty good. Next we have Crew Captain, 3 mana, black, red, green. Creature, human warrior, has haste. Crew captain has indestructible as long as it entered battlefield this turn. It's a 4/2. Not my favorite, but okay. 3-drop 4/2 with initial indestructible. I'll give it a 2.5 to a 3. Brazen Upstart, 3 mana. It's red, green, white, Naya colors. Has It's a creature, elf shaman, uncommon. Has vigilance. When it dies, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card from among them, put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. It's a 4/2, so another 3-drop 4/2 that can tutor you up a creature. Has vigilance. I think these are all relevant things. 2.5 to 3 for me. Just got to see how it plays with its colors. And next we have Disciplined Duelist. 3 mana, green, white, blue, Bant colors. Creature, human citizen, uncommon, with double strike. Disciplined Duelist enters battlefield with a shield counter on it. That's pretty good. Like all of these little uncommon cards are kind of like decent to me. 2.5 to a 3. I really like when I say 2.5 to 3, I'm kind of feeling like 2.5 to 2.9 because I don't necessarily want to give them that 3 until I see how they play out. All right, let's see what other multicolored spells we have. I don't know why they did this. They just kind of put them haphazardly. I think there's only one more set for me though. It's still a good bit more. Are these for the? I'm gonna read these and I'm assuming these are for standard limited play. I don't think they're for commander. But if they are, I apologize, but I'm gonna review them as if they are for standard limited play. I can't hardly tell what the symbol is here. Like it doesn't look gold rare. That's gold rare right there. Oh well, I will find out. So we got Shattered Serif, 7 mana, 4 generic, white, blue, black, Angel Rogue with flying. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 3 life. You can pay 2. Exile Shattered Serif from your hand. Target land gains. Add white, blue, or black until Shattered Serif is cast from exile. You may cast Shattered Serif for as long as it remains exiled. Huh. I mean, a 7 mana for a 4/4 flyer gains you 3 life. That's cool. I don't like it. It's a little too expensive. Like a 7 mana 4/4 is just not good. I would have to give it a 1. I would have to give it a 1. I'm trying to see, like, you can exile it from your hand, give a mana white, blue, or black. Not even all 3. No. Next, we have Glamorous Outlaw. 6 mana, 3 generic, blue, black, red, Grixis colors, creature, vampire, rogue. When Glamorous Outlaw enters the battlefield, it deals 2 damage to each opponent and you scry 2. Pay 2, exile Glamorous Outlaw from your hand. Target land gains blue, black, or red until Glamorous Outlaw is cast from exile. You may cast Glamorous Outlaw for as long as it remains exiled. So I wonder, like, all right. So say someone exiles this card from my hand. Can I cast this regardless? Like, is this unexilable? If this is unexilable, this is great. Like, that would make Shattered Seraph a little bit better too, a little bit. But 6 mana 4/5 isn't horrible. Enters the battlefield, does a little damage. I can give it a 2 for now. Maybe even a 2.25. But it looks like all these cards are going to have this extra ability to give mana to certain cards. I had to see how that works out. I get the gist. I do. It helps with mana fixing. I'm going to just have to see how well that plays out. Next, we have Mast Bandits. 6 mana, 3 generic, black, red, green, Jund colors. Creature, raccoon, rogue with vigilance, menace. And it's a 5/5. That's 6 mana, 5/5. With the same ability to give black, red, and green to a land. I'm going to give it a 2. Just unimpressive. Just very unimpressive. Next, we have Spara's adjuncators. Ad, adjudicators. Adjudicators. I got to go back to Hooked on Phonics. Spara's adjudicators. Adjudicators. I've never heard of adjudicators in my life. That's terrible. Spara's adjudicators. 5 mana, 2 generic, green, white, blue. Creature, cat, citizen. When it ETBs, target creature an opponent controls can attack or block until your next turn, and it has the ability to give a land green, white, or blue while it's exiled. 5 mana, 4/4. That fixes. I guess they're thinking, okay, it's helping the fix is gonna be good, but I, for what format? I'm wondering. It's not limited in my opinion. Maybe, maybe. I'm gonna give it a two. 5 mana 4/4 to 2.25. Oh, was that just a common symbol? Oh, those were all just the common multicolor spells? They're just gold common? They don't normally do gold common, do they? I'm glad I went over those. No wonder they were so slightly booty. Alright, let's get to these last few. I'll go over this since it has multicolor on the card. Courier's Briefcase. 2 mana, 1 generic and a green. Artifact, it's a treasure itself. I don't know if I've seen that before. Uncommon, when Courier's Briefcase enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 green and white citizen creature token. You can sacrifice Courier's Briefcase, add 1 mana of any color, so it's an actual treasure. And you can pay 5 mana, white, blue, black, red, green, sacrifice Courier's Briefcase, draw 3 cards. I think this card is kind of cool. Like, it makes you a creature, 2 drop, make you a creature. You sack it, get a mana. I will probably run multiples of these, especially depending on like how many different colors I'm going. I'm gonna give this a three. I just like it. Uh, no, I'll give it a 2.5. It doesn't have evasion. It's not gonna win you the game. I think it's really just a decent support spell. Uh, okay, we got a few more multicolored spells to go over, and then I'm gonna take a quick break, um, rest my voice, and then I'm gonna continue with the rest of the colors and artifacts. So we have Ob Nixilis, the adversary here. 3 mana, 1 generic, black and red. Legendary Planeswalker, Nixilis. Has Casualty X. The copy isn't legendary and has Starting Loyalty X. As you cast this spell, you may sacrifice a creature with Power X. When you do copy this spell, the copy becomes a token. Okay. You can +1. Each opponent loses 2 life unless they discard a card. If you control a demon or devil, you gain 2 life. Neg 2. Create a 1/1 red devil creature token with when this creature dies, it deals 1 damage to any target. And Neg 7. Target player draws 7 cards and loses 7 life. So this is clearly a 5. Like, this is a bomb. Like, you see Ob Nixilis, you grab Ob Nixilis. Everything is great. Make them lose life. You gain life. You can create tokens. It would be nice if it had removal, but you can make a copy of this card by just sacking a creature. I think it's kind of nasty. That's really nasty. I'm giving it a 5. Off rip. Meeting the 5. Okay. 8 mana, 3 generic, white, blue, black, red, green, sorcery, mythic. Exile the top 10 cards of your library. You may cast spells with exactly 3 colors from among them this turn. Add 2 white, 2 blue, 2 black, 2 red, 2 green. Spend this mana only to cast spells with exactly 3 colors. I'm not doing this. I'm giving this a 1. You might be able to get a 1.5 to even a 2 out of it. No, I'm just not. No, I'm giving it a 1. And that's just, I haven't given anything a 0 today. This is really like a point 0.5. God dang. It is going to get people want to play it. You're going to be dead. You're going to be dead by the time you do that in limited. Corpse Explosion. 3 mana, 1 generic, black and a red sorcery. As an additional cost to cast this spell, exile a creature card from your graveyard. Corpse Explosion deals damage equal to the exile card's power to each creature and each planeswalker. Okay. I'm going to give this a 2.5 to a 3. I really got to see how that plays out. Next we have Park Heights Pegasus. Green and white, creature Pegasus, flying, trample, solid. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, draw a card if you had 2 or more creatures into the battlefield under your control this turn. That could be relevant or irrelevant. It's a 2-1. A 2-1 2-drop flyer, I think is just solid all around. I'm going to give it a 3. Next we have Scheming Fence, white and a blue. Creature Human Citizen, rare. As it enters the battlefield, you may choose a non-land permanent. Activated abilities of the chosen permanent can't be activated. Scheming Fence has all activated abilities of the chosen permanent except for loyalty abilities. You may spend mana as though they were any color to activate those abilities. I kind of like that. I think that's really solid. 2-drop, 2/3. It's not Defender. I'm going to give it a 3. We'll see how it plays out. Aven Heartstabber, a blue and a black. Creature Bird Assassin. Has flying. As long as there are 5 or more mana values among cards in your graveyard. It gets +2/+2 and has Death Touch. When it dies, mill 2 cards and draw a card. 2-drop 1/1 with flying and I'm gonna give it a 1.5. It's looking pretty unimpressive to me. Black Market Tycoon, red and a green. Creature Cat Rogue. At the beginning of your upkeep, Black Market Tycoon deals 2 damage to you for each treasure you control, and you can tap it to create a treasure. I've seen people talk about this card. I don't like it. But it creates treasures on a stick. I'll give it a 2 for now. See how it plays. But 2 mana 2/2 is a bear, which isn't horrible, but it deals 2 damage to you for each treasure you control, which could get out of hand. Next we have Civil Servant. That's a very creepy looking Civil Servant. White, green and white. Creature Cat Citizen. Whenever it attacks, you may tap another untapped citizen you control. If you do, Civil Servant gets +1/0 and gains lifelink until end of turn. I think that's solid. Two-drop 2/3. I think that's a 3. And it can be a 2-drop 3/3 with lifelink. I won't complain about that. Darling of the Masses. 4 mana, 2 generic, a green and a white. Creature Elf Citizen, uncommon. Other citizens you control get +1/+0. Whenever Darling of the Masses attacks, create a 1/1 green and white citizen creature token. 4-drop 2/4 is not looking too great. Giving other citizens +1/+0 is fine. I'm gonna give this a 2. It's not gonna win you the game on its own, and you gotta kind of build around it. Next we have Tainted Indulgence. Blue and black. Instant. Draw 2 cards. Then discard a card unless there are 5 or more mana values among cards in your graveyard. 2-drop. Draw 2 cards. I'm gonna give this a 2. I'm not too excited by it. Next we have Fatal Grudge. 2 mana, black red sorcery, uncommon. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice a non-land permanent. Each opponent chooses a permanent they control that shares a type with the sacrifice permanent and sacrifices it, draw a card. I'm gonna give this a 2 as well. I don't know how it's gonna play, and I think it might drop in value for me personally. Next we have Syndicate Infiltrator, 4 mana, 2 generic, blue and a black. Creature, vampire, wizard, uncommon, with flying. As long as there are 5 or more mana values among cards in your graveyard, Syndicate Infiltrator gets +2/+2, it's 3/3. So this can potentially be a 4 mana 5/5 flyer. Potentially. Otherwise, the 4 mana 3/3 flyer, which is still mostly playable. I'm going to give it a 2.9. I got to give things 2.9s because I don't want to give it a 3 just yet. If it was a 3 mana 3/3 flyer, that would probably be a 4. Yeah, I'll give it a 3. That's fine. I think it's playable at the moment. But if we find that 4 mana is just too slow for that 3 value, that's going to make a difference. Next, we have Metropolis Angel. 4 mana, 2 generic, a white and a blue. Creature, angel, soldier, uncommon. With flying, whenever you attack with one or more creatures with counters on them, draw a card. It's a 3/1. I really want to give this a 2.9 as well. Like, a 4 mana 3/3 is fine. 4 mana 3/1 is fine. And the upside is fine. But I don't know if it gets it to that just I'm gonna be happy to play this every game mark. I'm gonna give it a 2.9. Next we have Stimulus Package. 4 mana, 2 generic, red and a green. Enchantment, uncommon. When Stimulus Package enters the battlefield, create 2 treasure tokens. Sacrifice a treasure, create a 1/1 green and white citizen creature token. Oh my gosh. Bruh. I love Stimulus Package. Wow. Man, Jund all day. Jund. I'm gonna write that top of my notes. Jund is looking absolutely fantastic. What you mean? Sacrifice just it, as many as I want, not once per turn. Just sack a treasure, create a green white citizen creature token. Did is this right? Is this right? I'm giving it a 4 to 4.5. I'm definitely excited about that card. Wow. Like I just been reading cards for a good while, not excited at all, but that one's pretty cool. All right. Next we have Ceremonial Groundbreaker. 3 mana, 1 generic, green and a white. Artifact, equipment, uncommon. Equipped creatures get +2/+1 and has trample. That's relevant. Equip citizen for 1 and equip for 3. I'm gonna give it a 2. It's just a support spell. Exotic pets. 3 mana, a generic white and a blue instant. Create 2 +1/+1 bluefish creature tokens with this creature can't be blocked. Then for each kind of counter among creatures you control, put a counter of that kind on either of those tokens. I'm gonna give this a 2 as well. Like, it's not very impressive. I mean, the fact that it can make 2 tokens is cool. And it's instant speed. That's cool. It might go up for me a little bit. Next, we have Forge Boss. 2 generic, black and a red. Creature, human warrior, uncommon. Whenever you sacrifice one or more other creatures, Forge Boss deals 2 damage to each opponent. This ability triggers only once each turn. It's a 3/4. I'm going to give this a 2.5. It's a 4 mana 3/4 with no other abilities. You have to sacrifice. You have to have things to play with it, but Jund for me so far is looking very, very, very synergistic. So I'm kind of having high hopes for it. Security rocks. 4 mana, 2 generic, a red and a green. Creature Rhino Warrior. Uncommon. You may pay red and a green rather than pay this spell's mana cost. Spend only mana produced by treasure to cast it this way. Huh? It's a 5/4. This is getting a 3 to 3.5. Like, this is looking kind of sexy to me because this essentially can be a 2 mana 5/4 that you just paid treasures to create. Oh, gosh. Wow. Jetmir's Fixer. 2 mana, red and a green. Creature Cat Warrior, common, red green. Jetmir's Fixer gets +1/+1 until end of turn. If mana from a treasure was spent to activate this ability, put a 1/1 counter on it instead. 3 to 3.5, bro. It's a bear that can legit just pump itself up. So it's good early game, it's good late game, and if you use treasures, it's permanently pumped. What were they doing? Next, we have Celestial Regulator. It is a 3 mana, 1 generic, white, and a blue. Creature Angel Advisor with flying. When it ETBs, choose target creature you don't control and tap it. If you control a creature with a counter on it, the chosen creature doesn't untap during its controller next untap step. It's a 2/3. I'll give it a I'll give it a 3. It's respectable. I really want to just give it a 2.9. It's a respectable card. It goes up to 3 automatic in my book if you have the counter so the creature doesn't untap. But not being automatic just kind of hurts it a little bit to me. I love this name, Body Dropper. It's a 2 mana, black and a red. Creature, Devil Warrior, common. Whenever you sacrifice another creature, put a 1/1 counter on Body Dropper. Pay a black and a red, sacrifice another creature, Body Dropper gains menace. 2 mana, 2/2. This is a 3. Like, they're really making Jund look really good. Oh my goodness. Snooping Newsy. It's 2 mana, a blue and a black, human rogue. Whenever it ETBs, mill 2 cards. As long as there are 5 or more mana among cards in your graveyard, it gets +1/+1. It has lifelink. So it could be a 2 mana 3/3. I'll give it a 2.9. Like, bears to me are kind of like average cards, so you're not gonna really hear me complain about them. But the fact that this can have +1/+1 and lifelink is really good. So far, Jund is really impressing me on the black red side and the green red side. Green black, I guess, isn't a thing. I'm guessing. So yeah. All right. So we got through all of the multicolor spells, and that kind of took out my voice for the moment. So let me get me like a 2-3 minute break, maybe a little bit longer, and I'm gonna return and try to tackle the common spells. I mean the monocolored spells, and then go over the artifacts and whatnot. So yeah, if you enjoy my content, please be sure to like, follow, and subscribe so you know when I go live in the future. A lot of Streets of New Capenna content is coming up. I plan to stream all day when the set drops on Arena. So be sure that you are locked in. I will be right back.
Yeah, surgeon of death. I remember the nerves from your head. Certainly dead. Submarine cause I emerged from the depths. Cut them clean, I got no words to be said. Fuck you mean you never heard on the best. Chorus on how they ain't making a noise. When I roll with my boys, they be turning them red. Shout out to Beppo, there's beasts in my circle of friends. Heart pirates from my gang, we stay heartless. Start fires when I load up the cartridge. Hardwired, I've been used to the carnage. War dog, I leave him hurt when I give him the boot like a martyr. Who's fucking asking? Lay down the law, I'm not using the pardon. Step in my room and I'm moving compartments. Shambles, breaking my apart like I'm fusing with carbon.
Yeah, go to war with the pool, I got beats on the air and they ready to shoot. I ain't talking my fruit. You get played like a flu, ride around with my crew, better give me the loot. I'm playing with a scratch man, bang with a backhand. Strafe in the badlands, crazy and madman. Stay in the trash can, gang in the back, long arm staying on me, finna spray with a strap. Blam. Pulling up with uses, Drake get the shooting. In the way we moving, ain't a thing you doing, bringing pain with music. See my gang get stupid, can't avoid my moves and know we ain't disputing. If you hear him, bet you disappearing. Hear him before you see him, know you better fear him. Shout the coast is clear, they running, can't get near him. When it's said and done, the world is gonna revere him.
Metal grip it, lead or tin is red or spill it. Get them sent into the medic clinic. Magnetic with it, any ferrous dimmers, they gon' know the score like this is Metacritic. Got some brass bollocks, all these coppers, I'm making them sink. Gibson attacking the amp noise. Boy got the gears like it's clink, I can clink. My joints together, but don't call them me alloys. More of attraction, chicks get in the field, covering all the bullets and a bend of the steel. Draw them out, I call them north and south. I got two poles for 'em if they step in my field. Killer with the killer, hit the kill the bigger figures and the sinner sycophant. Been a victim and I'll trim a wicked man. Literally, I'm just built different.
I got two sides swinging through the wind, leave them chopped and trimmed. Used our luck up, story so fucked up, where should I begin? Cards always said survival was sin. Mask on my face, I'm hiding my grin. We done lost so many, it's just me and King. So I guess you could say that killer is pissed. I got two blades, leave 'em two paid, I don't need third. Mask on, laughing to myself, I don't say a word. Already get the medal for you cleaving, never glass squeezing, that's too easy. I'ma support the ambitions, my captain his wishes, regardless of whatever problem. All of y'all struggles fictitious, so sit back and listen, we winning, don't care what it costs
For
us.
F's sake, X marks the Drake and head mask and cape. Our quests aren't the same. I'm steadfast and brave, see breast arse and fate. Got chest guards and face double cross. I to test off these fakes 10 times as great. Red flag, step back, then plans get axed when I force a blade. Scratch men off the list, tell him he lacks skill. Cause if X won't give it to you, that's real. Dinosaur on the high seas, high freeze. Undercover sword, I'll be the spy team. Fight me like a carnivore, I make a guy meet my teeth. When the Allosaurus recognize he's mighty. Step into my zone. Methods of my own, like Scalab, I can shatter through their weapons and their bones. Climbed out the barrels from a minion story. You could find one piece, but you'll never find Dory.
Joey Bonnie, I roll this scrawny shipment as I sit and enjoy the bounty. Four fools around me, astounding. The only time I'm over 140 is on my bounty. Only female land captain in the worst generation. Racing, my margarita's always moving. I'm a pirate. I would never help a stranger, young or especially old. I'd rather con these losers. Beat my world government, escape the ish twice. Defeated Blackbeard, but you saw the kick right. My claws are skin tight. The cost of this fight is losing your life quickly with old and thin white hair. Men don't even dare to murder me. And money heads more than my favorite Berserker green. My bunny pirates will forever worship me. And every other supernova on this earth will see.
Yeah, man knows my name, but they know my face, but they know my bounty. Yes. It's big gang beige, crew on my back, couldn't move without me. Roll them up and smoke these folk, cause we do this loudly. If he bugging, then he get cut and this crew gon' clown him. You're really not worth a hassle, man thinks I'm an asshole. Shorty got me bricked up castle, judgment drop the hammer like avils. 10 toes down, you step, you get tread on. New whip show me came with new tread on. Big body, now big body, you build like a mark, the sharks will get fed
Listen
on.
up, douche, your fate, only I get to choose. Best pray the arcana spares you. Can't get your brain blown like the wind, that's a straw that I use. You're a doll made to take my abuse, bitch. Play with your life like acoustics, stay all hawk and the movements of bays or the ruthless. Came from the North Blue, so you'll never see me get blues if some go south with the cruise shit. Opposition think they damaging me till they take a look at their own bloodied up team. Got captain status, so every chick that's bad is trying to be my doll at max 10's all I need. Don't fuck with 12, we ain't never fuck with authority. Bitch, I'm one of the 12 of the worst who really reward. Wasn't put two to your head like my head on my Jolly Roger. Move a beast that'll prior to life or drawing your sword at me.
Heaven and hell, the reverend will tell these the living disciples dead them as well. I'm the darkest angel, never enter my realm. If you enter my hell, let her enter yourself. I'm the mad monk, demonic, probably off the time of guiling with the monsters, yeah. I've been lacking conscious, I've been lifeless, off the cuff, I crave the carnage. I'm the mad monk, back up, don't act tough, keep your guard up, ho. Clash us, get flat, turn the eye, smash her, leave you saw struck, die. Probably pull up with the pillar warning. Darkest archangel in your army. Got the sauce across, can't even stop me. I'm high above you, presence, you should call me God.
Spinning, chopping, beating out like a DJ. Fork path home in the field, cutting three-way. Black Air Force style, stepping like CJ. On a Geary, feel the fury of three blades. Cut above the eye, cut above the rest. Couldn't leave a motherfucker dead. Three swords fly, hit 3 times. One up in his neck, one up in his chest, one up in his face, put him in his grave. Blade flow like kimono motions, no wino phase. I am known for the smoke like gelato strain. If I'm lacking, it's like nothing happened. I got a monster body, I could bottle pain. Hockey of the conquerors got him shaking. Like coke, metal pop, now we gotta stand. Steel bite when I chomp on his waddle blade. Took dead to the chest, I am not afraid.
It's the man of the moment, the elastic opponent the government can't get a hold of. Mad that I'm potent, and I'm packing a massive support from the vast of the ocean. They know what their role is. My crew serve a purpose, they riding the channel along with me. Can't try to control us, they'll be coming after this card next like a Discord VC. To beat me, you need a marine fleet, and any one of the CPs. Could be a young or be a warlord, you ain't me. Whenever you hear me, my punches will get through. Living life going merry, I'm cruising over. Hockey color of the king, I'm ruling over. Coming for you old heads till you roll dead
Make them lose their tiny tempers, I predict an earthquake. Watch how I define an error, this is what my work made. They ain't no one else who's better, know my name's in first place. Rising like a phoenix from the ashes like my first mate. Whoa, got my dogs on me, kinda he don't bother me. Whoa, you can't tire me, your land is now my property. Whoa, all ferocity, whoa, no apologies. They will all remember this, my story's now mythology.
Used to be an orphan, no endorphins or knowledge, I'm wild. Learned a lot from traveling the world as a child. Now let me tell you about my plan, been at work for a while. Down the hatch, he get thatched, this finesse was vital. That's why the moment I'm arriving, Yonko status decided. I got a saber, that's my ship, you better dip when I'm slotted. Cause when Pops died, I saw Marco look in denial. Cause when Pops died, I emptied the clip with a smile.
Oh, you ain't messing with the red hair. I'll be rolling with a king, you won't get spared. Oh, you know I can stop the war just by turning up. Dawn Island turning up. I down the pies back in Yonko, back to serve me out. No matter about the buff, he got me highs in the burly fog. Study fun, just the world be us. You ain't seen the worst.
Ayo! Hello, Fantastics. It's Mr. Clintastic, preparing to dive right back into a Streets of New Capenna limited set review. If you enjoy my content, please be sure to like, follow, and subscribe so that you know when I go live in the future. So, I've already covered all of the multicolored spells, so you have to look at the replay or look at my new video on YouTube to see that. Now I'm going to go into the monocolored spells, and since on down here we get into, just lines, I'm just going to start with white and go on across. So yeah, let's find these white spells up here and start talking. So it looks like Sanctuary Warden is first up. 4 mana, well, 6 mana, 4 generic, 2 white. Creature, Angel Soldier with flying, ETBs with 2 shield counters on it, and when it enters the battlefield or attacks, you may remove a counter from a creature or planeswalker you control. If you do, draw a card and create a 1/1 green and white citizen creature token. It's a 5/5. So a 6 mana 5/5 flyer is not bad. That has 2 shield counters on it. I'm putting this at a 4 for me. Like, I just think it's a solid spell, and it can honestly go to higher than that. It just kind of depends on how fast or slow the format is. And it can make tokens as well, so I'm not really impressed with what I'm seeing from green white so far. But who knows, it could prove itself useful. Alright, looking for our next white spell in this jumble of madness. Looks like we have a Swooping Protector. 4 mana, 3 generic and a white. Creature, Bird Citizen, uncommon. Has flash, flying. When it ETBs with a shield counter on it. That's dope. That's going to be great for combat tricks. So even though it's a 4 mana 2/1, just flashing this in, blocking some chump, letting it crash in and die, I'm giving it a 3. I'm going to give it a 2.9. Y'all going to hate me for these 2.9s. I think it's right there. Alright, next we have Illuminator Virtuoso. 2 mana, 1 generic and a white, human rogue with double strike. When it becomes the target of a spell you control, it connives. Draw a card and discard a card. It's a 1/1. Oh, and you put the 1/1 counter on it. It's like a pseudo bear. Like a bear is a 2 mana creature that's a 2/2, so 2 for 2. This is a 1/1 for 2, but it has double strike, so it does 2 damage. And it can get bigger as you improve it. I kind of want to just give it a 2.5. It's not something I'm willing to invest in, personally. Next we have Rumor Gatherer. 3 mana, 1 generic, 2 white. Elf Wizard, uncommon, has Alliance. Whenever another creature ETBs under your control, scry 1. If this is the second time this ability has resolved this turn, draw a card instead. So is that just the new mechanic of Alliance? Just Looking for a dang alliance. If I'm understanding it right, alliance is just when you play a creature scry, and if you play another creature, draw. Okay. I mean, I'm not going to dwell on that. That's what I'm assuming. Let's move on. Oh, yeah. So 3 mana, 2/1 with Alliance. Not impressed. I'll give it like a 1.5 or so. Like the fact that it can potentially draw a card is cool, but it's not a guarantee. Next we have Dapper Shieldmate. 4 mana, 3 generic and a white. Creature Human Soldier. Common. ETBs with a shield counter on it. As long as it's your turn, it has 2/0. So it's essentially a 4 mana 4/2. Who's impressed by that? Like, it's cool that it has the shield counter, but once that shield counter is gone, I mean, it's just a 4 mana 4/2. Create 2 tokens, scry 1, then draw. That's what Alliance is. God, I'm trying to go back. All right, here we go. Okay, so Alliance is just whenever a creature ETBs under your control, trigger the ability. And so what you're saying is just keep in mind that that's how you can automatically draw a card off of that. I feel you. But yeah, Dapper Shieldmate still getting a 1.5, and the previous card is still getting a 2.5 because I mean, I do think Rumor Gatherer has some potential. The fact that you had to support it is my problem. All right, next we have Broker's Initiate. 1 mana white. Cat Citizen, and I guess I could have included this in the multicolored spells because its ability is multicolored. Its ability is 5 mana, 4 generic, a green-blue hybrid. Broker's Initiate has base power and toughness 5/5 until end of turn. Okay. I see you. And it's a 1-drop 0/4. I'm going to give that a 2.5. Like in your decks where you just really want to slow the opponent down, I think that's going to be great. And then when you have the mana for it, it beats face. Next we have Rafine's Informant for 2. 1 generic and a white. When it ETBs, it's a human wizard creature. When it ETBs, it connives. It's a 2/1. I mean, I'll give it a 2. Somewhat playable. Boon of Safety. 1 mana, white, instant. Put a shield counter on target creature. And scry 1. 1.5 for me. I mean, support spells are just not high on my list of playables and limited. Like, they really just depend so much on other things. We have Celebrity Fencer. 3 generic and a white. Elf Druid with Alliance. And whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a 1/1 counter on Celebrity Fencer. 3/2. And it doesn't limit you to non-token creatures either. I'm going to still put this at a 2. It doesn't have any evasion for me. And a 4 mana 3/2 with no evasion, I might even rank it a little lower. Like, if I end up never playing Celebrity Fencer, yeah, I'll definitely rank it lower. Alright, now we're getting into the straight list of white. We have Elspeth Resplendent. Some people calling her Wanda. 5 mana, 3 generic, 2 white, legendary Planeswalker Elspeth. +1, choose up to one target creature, put a +1/+1 counter, and a counter from among flying, first strike, lifelink, or vigilance on it. -3, look at the top 7 cards of your library. You may put a permanent card with mana value 3 or less from among them onto the battlefield. Whew! With a shield counter on it. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. -7, create 5 3/3 white angel creature tokens with flying. Need we say more? Elspeth is a 5. Elspeth is just a bomb. You don't even have to question. Like, what? Now, that's questionable. I could bring this down to a 4.5 because it doesn't pass the Planeswalker rule of protecting itself. But I do like that it comes down and can give you... It kind of can, because it can drop down and at least try to find you something to put onto the board. So, we'll say 4.5 to 5 for Elspeth. She kind of protects herself. I like her a lot. And I mean, she's definitely going to win you the game if they can't stop her in 2 turns. You make 5 3/3 angel creature tokens with flying. Jeez. Next we have Halo Fountain. 3 mana, 2 generic, and white artifact mythic. Has 3 abilities. Pay a white, tap, untap a tap creature you control. Create a 1/1 green and white citizen. Pay 2 white and tap, untap 2 tap creatures you control, draw a card. Pay 5 white, tap, untap 15 untap creatures you control, you win the game. Okay, I'm gonna give this a 3.5. I think this is... You said bad? I think it's pretty good. It's a 3 mana that can generate tokens, draw you cards, and has a win con on it. Like, if it just had the win con on it and draw cards, I might not feel this way. But the fact that it can potentially make you a token every turn, I think that's solid. Next we have Giada, Font of Hope. 2 mana, 1 generic, and a white legendary creature angel, flying vigilance. Alright, that puts it at a 3 for me. Each other angel you control enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it for each angel you already control. Then you can tap it, add a mana to cast angel spells. This is pretty high up for me, just being a 2-drop 2/2 flyer. Like, that ain't bad. I'm gonna give it like a 3.25. It still needs some support, but I think it's solid. Next we have Rabble Rousing, 5 mana, 4 generic, and a white enchantment with Hideaway 5. I've seen Hideaway on cards before, kind of older spells. When this enchantment enters the battlefield, look at the top 5 cards of your library. Exile 1 face down, then put the rest on the bottom in a random order. Whenever you attack with 1 or more creatures, create that many 1/1 green and white citizen creature tokens. Then if you control 10 or more creatures, you may play the exile card without paying its mana cost. This is kind of bad for me. Like, 5 mana to Hideaway, and you gotta have the creatures in place. I gotta give this like a 2. Like a 1.5 to a 2. And I don't mind having to untap my things. Like, hopefully I will have things to be tapped. Next we have Extraction Specialist. 3 mana, 2 generic and a white. Creature, human rogue, rare, lifelink. When the ETBs return a creature with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Wow. That creature can't attack or block for as long as you control... What? For as long as you control Extraction Specialists. I don't know how to feel about this. Like it can't attack her. I mean, I guess this is great for ETB triggers, and then when this dies, I get it back. This goes in the 2.9 category for me. Like 3 drop 3/2 with lifelink is fine. Not evasive or anything like that. To get a 2 drop from the graveyard is fine, 2 or less. But the fact that it can't attack or block until this leaves kind of just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Next we have Depopulate, 4 mana, 2 generic, 2 white, sorcery. Each player who controls a multicolored creature draws a card. Then destroy all creatures. That's a 5 for me. That's a 5 for Mr. Clintastic. I get to destroy all creatures and potentially draw a card. Boom. Tick, tick, boom. Next we have Mysterious Limousine, 5 mana, 3 generic, 2 white. Artifact vehicle, rare. When it enters the battlefield or attacks, exile up to one other target creature until Mysterious Limousine leaves the battlefield. If a creature is put into exile this way, return each other card exiled with Mysterious Limousine to the battlefield under its owner's control. Crew 2. So it's a 5 mana removal spell. And if you're removing tokens, it's just straight up killing them. I'm gonna give it a 3. I got like the mana cost is throwing me off. The fact that it's a vehicle is throwing me off. I just got to see how it plays. Next we have Citizen's Crowbar. 2 mana, 1 generic and a white. Artifact equipment, uncommon. When it enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 green and white citizen creature token. Then attach Citizen's Crowbar to it. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has pay 1, tap, sacrifice Citizen's Crowbar to destroy target artifact or enchantment. Equip for 2. I think the artifacts that create tokens on their own are decent, especially when they attach to themselves. I'm gonna have to see how this plays out. 2.9, because if it deals with decent threats, it'll be good. Next we have Patch Up. 3 mana, 2 generic, and a white sorcery, uncommon. Return up to 3 target creature cards with total mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. I'm gonna give this a 1. If it was like 3 cards that are each up to 3 mana or less, cool, but just like that could be 1 card, 1 for 1, maybe 2 for 1, maybe. And 2 for 1 is gonna be fairly weak. Next we have Angelic Observer, 6 mana, 5 generic and a white. Angel Advisor, uncommon. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each citizen you control. With flying, it's a 3/3. Ew. Ew. I'm gonna give this a 1.9 to 2.9. Because it can vary. It's not the worst thing ever. If you can get your spirits, this could end up being like a 2 mana card. I mean, your citizens. Or even a 1 mana card. This could be great. But if you don't have your citizens, it's not great. It's 5 mana 3/3. 4 mana 3/3. Now, once you get it to 3 mana 3/3, you're okay. But there's some work involved in getting it there. Like that kind of card has a card like Angelic Observer has lured me so much because I'm like, okay, I'll just reduce the cost and be able to play it. Next thing I know, my board's empty. I'm having this card and I'm stuck at 5 mana or something. Like it just doesn't always play out to my best benefit. Next we have Refuse to Yield. 2 mana, 1 white, and a generic instant. Target creature gets +2/+7 until end of turn and untap it. I'll give it a 1.5. I think it's a decent support spell, but support spells Solo don't win you the game. Knockout Blow, 3 mana. 2 generic and a white. Instant. Uncommon. This spell costs 2 less to cast if it targets a red creature, so it can be 1 mana for red. Deals 4 damage to target attacking or blocking creature, and you gain 2 life. That's not bad. The life gain part is pretty good. I'm going to give this a 2.9. It's not an automatic destroy spell, and I think it could easily go above 3. And the fact that it deals like it'd be 1 less, 2 less for red, it's just not, once again, it's just not going to win you the game. It's not going to deal with everything on the board, but it's going to deal with enough in my opinion. Did I miss one? Alright. We have Ballroom Brawlers. 5 mana, 3 generic, 2 white, creature, human, warrior, uncommon. When Ballroom Brawlers attacks, Ballroom Brawlers and up to 1 other target creature you control both gain your choice of first strike or lifelink until end of turn. It's a 3/5. I'm giving that a 1. I don't like it. 5 mana for a 3/5 with no evasion? Get out my face. And it's uncommon? That's even more disrespectful. Next we have Mage's Attendant, 3 mana. 2 generic and a white, cat rogue, uncommon. When Mage's Attendant enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 blue wizard creature token with pay 1, sacrifice this creature, counter target non-creature spell unless its controller pays 1. It's a 3/2. A 3-drop that makes a creature token, it's not bad. It's not bad. I'm gonna give it a 2.9. It's just not that. It's just not that oomph I'm looking for. It's like, I'll play it if I have to. Like if I need something else in my deck, but I'd rather play this already. Skycrier. 2 mana, 1 generic and a white, bird citizen, flying, lifelink. Pay 4, 3 generic and a white. You and target opponent each draw a card. I don't know if I'm going to be doing that. But to have a 2-drop 1/1 lifelinker, I think it's solid. The ability kind of sucks. Like, that ability was like the tap ability from Kamigawa. Cool. If it was pretty much anything else besides me giving my opponent's cards, cool. So I'm going to have to give this a 2.9 as well. Because it's not even a bear. The evasion is what I'm liking. So if you can put this in the air and start like and pump it or something, you're getting great value. But otherwise, Kill Shot, destroy target attacking creature for 3, 2 generic and a white. Okay, that automatic 3. I mean, it's not like specific damage. It's destroy target attacking creature. Like, get out my face. I love those. Next we have Backup Agent, 2 mana, 1 generic and a white, human citizen. When it ETBs, put a 1/1 counter on target creature. It's a 1/1, so it can be a bear. It can be a bear. I'm just giving it a 2. It's just unexciting. That's the thing about a lot of these spells. It's like, they're not going to win you the game. This isn't even getting you close to winning the game. Revelation of Power, 2 mana, 1 generic and a white, instant. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. If it has a counter on it, it also gains flying and lifelink until end of turn. I'll give this a 2 as well. I think it's a decent support spell. Next we have Gathering Throng, 3 mana, 2 generic and a white, human citizen. When it enters the battlefield, you may search your library for any number of cards named Gathering Throng, reveal them, put them in your hand, and shuffle. And it's common? Okay. I mean, I'll give it a 2.9. Like 2.5 to 2.9. If you can jam these, I mean, what? You refill your whole hand with 3/1s. Granted, you got to pay the 3 mana, but They're human citizens. This would pair well with the card from before where it's one less for each citizen or whatever. Maybe. I don't like that it doesn't have any evasion. And it's not going to scare your opponent, but I think it's a decent spell. Inspiring Overseer, 3 mana, 2 generic, and a white. Angel Cleric. Flying, when it enters the battlefield, you gain 1 life and draw a card. It's a 2/1. This is a 3.5 for me. This is a 3.5 for me. Oh my gosh. This is amazing. It's flying, it draws you a card, and gains you a life. All for 3 mana. Oh, okay, I see you, white. I see you. Speakeasy Observer. 5 mana, 4 generic and a white. Bird citizen with flying. ETBs, you gain a life for each other creature you control. Is a 3/3. I'll give this a 2. 5 mana 3/3 is just not my favorite. The fact that it gains you life is fine, but was it worth waiting to turn 5 to be able to play this card? We'll have to see. Hold for Ransom, 2 mana, 1 generic, and a white. Enchantment Aura, common, enchant creature. Enchanted creature can attack or block, and has pay 7. Hold for Ransom's controller sacrifices it and draws a card. Activate only as a sorcery. 2 mana, can attack or block. At common level, I'm putting this at 3. 3 really to 3.5. This is going to slow down the opponent significantly early game. And on just whatever. You can slap it down on whatever. And granted, they can sack and draw a card. They made it so expensive that if I see my opponent do that, I'm just going to... I'm going to be elated. I'm going to just be excited. Like, yes. Next, we have By Your Silence. 5 mana, 4 generic, and a white. Sorcery, exile target non-land permanent. Its controller creates a treasure token. Pretty sure I've seen things like this before. I'm going to give this a 2.9 to 3.5. I like that it exiles. I like that it exiles in white. And it's not an enchantment. I just don't like giving my opponents treasure tokens. Not a fan of giving my opponents treasure tokens. Oh, are we done with white already? Okay, so I'm going to take a quick 2-minute break. And we're going to come back and we're going to get started on the blue spells. If you enjoy my content, please be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to help my channel grow in the future. Also, so you know when I go live in the future, if you want to contribute to help the channel grow, you can always email me at mrclintastic, mr.clintastik@gmail.com, or you can sub on Twitch or donate stars on Facebook. As always, you guys are fantastic. I'm Mr. Clintastic. I'm going to be right back to continue the set review.
Mate, shatter like Pico and Earthquake. The body ever with my work rate. These cursed blades are dooming you all to a worse fate. Surprise you like a birthday. I hurt, maim, need first aid. You want the shaft, then I guess I'm taking you to third base. Beast with my weapon strength immense like gorillas. Cut down in a second, one-man army gorilla. Scary, no thriller, I'm stronger than imagine. Kill the beat, but turn around and be like nothing happened.
You don't want it with the prince. Put you on your knees, man, there's levels to this shit, that's real. Bunch of Mr. Satans in this bitch. Kill a petty viper, bring him back to hold the tip. Call that Dragon Balls. Focus mind like I'm overdosed on Adderall. Royal blood, turn the greatest into catalogs. They can call me number 2. I create the greatest, tell me who the fuck are you?
Yeah, I'm cut
from a different fabric. It's shocking when you spot him, I was bred for the static. It's tragic, but it happened. I'm bred to be a savage. Y'all yapping? Think you got heart, then stare at it. Know it's Godspeed, how I move when I smack you. Lose your head if you thinking I'm the one to talk back to. Assassin, how I move, kill you without a trace. Ain't talking yo-yos when I string rounds to your face.
Brigeki with my lyrics and obelisk in my physics. I'm a monster reborn and I'm here with a vengeance. And then I gentle on these bitches cause I don't fall for these thirst traps. Write it and I spit it, ain't no need for these rehearsed raps. Blue Eyes 3 has the smirk of a crook. Y'all motherfuckers just tunes cause you go by the book. Pot of greed, make money till I overdose. I kill my friends just to kill you. Call me King Barbaros.
Smack you down harder than my serve, make my hands sore. Had your turn, now it's back to me, that's a chance ball. A whole power split second, pick an option. The control tower that you call like Houston if you have a problem. Look at the wrist, I better get hit. I tend to get pissed if ever they miss. Can't keep up with me, just go be self, don't quit. Orange black combo, shorty flies when I let him jump. Kageyama shitting on the mic, that's a setter dump.
Freeze! Who wants to dance with the Ice Queen? I go from 100 to absolute zero ice stream. Is that the scoreboard or temperature? To the thousand, your blood warm here, here's the finisher. Big things come in small packages. They think that I'm fun size. Till I open this third eye, this Bankai. Banish your soul from society. Leave your body in 13 divisions for trying me.
It's Bakugo, my pressure got the ops on the ropes. Rest in peace to the goat, but I'm popping the smoke. I'm just trying to make a name, ain't no time to be slow. Feeling say they beating me, need to stop with the jokes. Since my rival got chosen, I'm not losing focus. Deku got me heated, don't get caught in the explosion. All I need is power and strength. I got a vision and I never needed help. I'ma do it myself.
すごいだろ俺は勝負だ巨突猛進今すぐだ足未来 no skate defeated with cross blades a beast in the cosplay these demons are not safe mad loud with no kill the most skill I go kill mountain only till they mow hills I headbutt your home still I'm so big-headed I kick you for no reason I'm on a cock here as long as this beast breathing.
You know that I gotta protect what's mine. Got the spirit of wind and my relatives by my side. I've been raw, got that grimoire. Know I make a match tragic, black magic. Keep you wheezing like an asthmatic. I keep this brief, if it's beef, you mince me. Trust me, you don't wanna see my brother with that fifth leaf. Listen up, power levels never get the buff. I'm not stopping, I'm not moving, and I'm never giving up. You know.
Redhead, rock star, no redemption, deaded with a bow, we call it Black Star. When it comes to felon yellow, Posey is a monster. Pulling shooting seconds with no questions like a cop car. Red and blue together, feel the murder intent. The BB gun, plastic plaster in the back of your head. Cause clues lose, I'm cuckoo, but actions intense. Only school kid to school you, you're actually dead.
Ayo! Hello, Fantastics. It's Mr. Clintastic, preparing to jump back into our Streets of New Capenna limited set review. If you enjoy my content, please be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to help my channel grow in the future. Alright, so I've gone over the multicolored spells. Now we're going to get into blue. So they got it all kind of everywhere for some reason, so I got to scan for our initial blue card, and it looks like here it is. We have Undercover Operative, 4 mana, 2 generic, 2 blue, Creature Shapeshifter Rogue. Really dope artwork, actually. You may have Undercover Operative enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield. Wow. And it comes with a shield counter. Any creature on the battlefield. Jeez, I'm going to give that like a 3 to 3.5. I think that could be really good. You know, you could copy your own creatures, guarantee you have some good ETBs, or just like your most powerful creature on the board. Wow. Next we have Ledger Shredder, 2 mana, 1 generic and a blue. Bird Advisor, rare, flying. When a player casts their second spell each turn, Ledger Shredder connives. It's a 1/3. So we're getting back into casting your second spell in a turn. Just a 2-drop, 1/3 flyer with a little bit of a, that can be a 2/3 flyer. I'll give it a 2.9. It just has to impress me a little bit. It just, like, if it's only going to deal 1 point of damage as a flyer, it could just be 1 mana and do nothing. I would be more impressed by a 1 mana vanilla flyer than I am with some of these 2-drop flyers. Next we have Cut Your Losses. 6 mana, 2 generic, 4 generic, 2 blue, sorcery, rare, with causality 2. As you cast a spell, you may sacrifice a creature with power 2 or greater. When you do copy the spell, you may choose a new target for the copy. Wow. Target player mills half their library rounded down. Eh. Mm, 6 mana for that ability. You could copy it. Limited is going to be powerful. Limited is going to be powerful, I think. Even by the time you get to 6 mana, I think it's still going to be fairly strong. I'll give it a 3. And it could probably go up. But it's not doing anything to the board. You really got to, in a sense, cut your losses and just run the card. Alright, next we have Hypnotic Grifter. 1 mana, blue, creature human rogue. Pay 3. Hypnotic Grifter connives. It's a 1/2. And it's uncommon. I'm not impressed. Not impressed at all. I give it a 1. I mean, a 1-drop 1/2. I mean, over time it can get bigger, but the no evasion is kind of painful, if you ask me. Next we have Psychic Pickpocket. 5 mana, 4 generic and a blue. Cephalid Rogue. Uncommon. When it ETBs, it connives. When it connives this way, return up to 1 target 9-land permanent to its owner's hands. It's a 3/2. That just seems really expensive to me. That seems really expensive. 5 mana to bounce something and make a potential 4/3. Gotta see how that plays out. I'm gonna give it a 2. I don't think it's completely unplayable, but I don't think I'd be picking it early. Next we have a Little Chat. 2 mana, 1 generic, and a blue. Instant, uncommon, causality 1. As you cast a spell, you may sacrifice a creature with power 1 or greater. When you do copy the spell, look at the top 2 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand and the other on the bottom of your library. I like it. I mean, and then you could sack a nothing card and potentially get 2 cards for 2. Huh. How do I feel? Once again, not winning you the game or nothing like that. Give it a 2.5. Next we have Psionic Snoop. 3 mana, 2 generic and a blue. Creature human rogue at common, flash. When an ATB it connives and it's a 0/3. No evasion. Flash is cool. Connive is cool. I gotta give this like a 1 to 1.5. Just a tad unimpressed with that. I know it's common, but it's very unimpressive. Next we have Rooftop Nuisance. 3 mana, 2 generic and a blue, sorcery. Casualty 1. Tap target creature. It doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. Draw a card. I wish this was an instant. I'd be happy if it was an instant, but at sorcery speed, ugh, that's pretty rough. It's pretty bad. I'll give it a 2. And see, what I'm going to do is like look back over the cards and see what color pairs had like my highest ratings. Because I think that might be a little bit significant. Wing Shield Agent. 3 mana, 2 generic and a blue. Human Soldier, uncommon. When it ETBs with a shield counter on it, and whenever it attacks up to 1 other target creature gains flying until end of turn. Why doesn't this have freaking flying? Jeez. I'm giving it a 2. These blue cards are not impressive so far. Not impressive at all. Obscura Initiate. 3 mana, 2 generic and a blue. Bird Citizen. Flying, 2/2. Pay a generic and a hybrid white-black. Gains lifelink till end of turn. I'm going to give it a 2.5. Some of these flyers are so questionable. Like, I think a 3-drop 2/2 is fine. But if it's going to have an ability, I just wish it was a better ability than that. I'll give it 2.5 to 2.9. Make Disappear. So that's 2 mana, 1 generic and a blue instant with causality 1. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 2. I'm going to give that a straight up 2. I don't usually run counter spells in limited. Honestly, this could be like a 1 to 1.5 actually. You probably never see me play that card. Echo Inspector. 4 mana, 3 generic and a blue. Bird Rogue at common with flying. When it ETBs, it connives. It's a 2/3. 2.5 to 2.9. Like, these flyers, they have the evasion I want, but they just don't really have the kick. Like a Namana Skydancer, right? It's 3 mana 2/1, but it has flash and it mills 2. You get me? Like, it's great. Next we have Broker's Veteran. 2 mana, 1 generic and a blue. Human Soldier, common. When it dies, put a shield counter on target creature you control. 2/1. You can run it if you want. I'm going to give it a 1 to 1.9. It's just okay. It's not winning any games in my opinion. And we have Security Bypass. 2 mana, 1 generic and a blue. Enchantment Aura at common level. Enchant creature. As long as enchanted creature is attacking alone, it can't be blocked. I like that. Whenever this creature does combat damage to a player, it connives. I like that. I'll put it up in the 2 to 2.5 range because I think that's pretty good. Give something unblockable and lets you draw this card on a stick. Yes, please. So let's see if these blue cards are going to be more impressive because those blue cards were not. All-Seeing Arbiter. 6 mana, 4 generic, 2 blue, Avatar, Mythic, Flying. When it ETBs or attacks, draw 2 cards, discard a card. When you discard a card, target creature an opponent controls gets neg X, neg 0 until your next turn, where X is the number of different mana values among cards in your graveyard. It's a 5/4. So a 6 mana 5/4 that draws you 2 cards and lets you discard a card. That can neg opponent's creatures. I'll give it a 3.5. I don't want to be disrespectful to the card, but 6 mana 5/4 I think is fine. The draw ability I think is great. The other ability I don't think is that great. Like the neg ability, I'm going to have to see that at work to really be like, oh, okay, that's something serious. Next we have Even the Score. X, 3 blue, instant mythic. This spell costs 3 blue less to cast. If an opponent has drawn 4 or more cards this turn, draw X cards. Like for limited, blue's not looking great. Like so far, like even the mythic spells are just kind of like. Otherwise, I'm paying 4 mana to draw 1 card. 5 mana to draw 2 cards. This is kind of a 1 for me. Really? That's just too expensive. Errant Street Artist, 1 blue, legendary creature, human, rogue, rare, flash, defender, haste. Pay 2, a generic and a blue, tap. Copy target spell you control that wasn't cast. You may choose new targets for the copy. It's 0/3. I gotta give it a 1. My god. Blue is one of my favorite colors. And they are just, god dang, what is this? These are this is our king. Next we have wiretapping. 5 mana and a blue. 5 mana, 4 generic and a blue enchantment with Hideaway 5. Whenever you draw your first card during each of your draw steps, draw a card. Okay. If you have 9 or more cards in hand, you may play the exile card without paying its mana cost. The Hideaway card. No, I'm giving this a 1 as well. Like, I think the more I see, like, the blue cards be bad, the more they get rated low. They're not even supporting each other. Reservoir Kraken, 4 mana, 2 generic, 2 blue, Kraken, rare, trample, ward, 2. So 4 mana, 6/6. How are they going to mess this up? At the beginning of each combat, if Reservoir Kraken is untapped, any opponent may tap an untapped creature they control. If they do tap Reservoir Kraken and create a 1/1 blue fish creature token with, this creature can't be blocked. Bruh, what? I was talking about blue bad. This is amazing. This is amazing. What are you, oh my god, it's like a 4 to, I really don't even know. Is it a 4 or a 5? A 4 mana 6/6 with trample in blue with ward 2? I think this is I think this is on up there. It's not even freaking mythic. So you can run multiple copies, and then if they do tap it down, you make tokens. Okay. Wow. That's nice. All right. Next we have Slip Out the Back. Gross. 1 blue, instant, uncommon. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. It phases out. 1, 2. I mean, I might not waste a pick on that. Next we have Sleep with the Fishes. I'm loving some of the names. It's just so long, right? 4 mana, 2 generic, 2 blue, enchantment aura, uncommon, enchant creature. When Sleep with the Fishes enter the battlefield, tap enchanted creature and you create a 1/1 blue fish creature token. This creature can't be blocked. Enchanted creature doesn't untap. Oh my god. Okay. $3.5 to $4 for me. Like, it's tapping down their threats and making me a creature. It's pretty good. Next is Out of the Way. 4 mana, 3 generic and a blue. Instant, uncommon. The spell costs 2 less to cast if it targets a green permanent. Return target non-land permanent to an opponent controls to its owner's hand. An opponent specific, so you can't protect your stuff. And you draw a card. I think this is fine. I give it like a 2.9. Like, I wish it could target anything so you could kind of protect your spells and it would go up for me. But otherwise, and I'm only rating it that high because it bounces and gives you something, like draws you a card. I think that's pretty powerful. Next we have Public Enemy. 3 mana, 2 generic and a blue. Enchantment Aura, uncommon. Enchant creature. All creatures attack enchanted creatures controller each combat if able. When enchanted creature dies, draw a card. So this like forces my opponent, like I can make them attack me every combat. There's some control elements to that. I don't know how to play it properly. So with that being said, I don't know how to rate it properly. I wouldn't know what to do with this. I'm gonna give it a 2. It's not removing anything. It's not giving me immediate value. I would even give it a 1. 1 to 2. Fairy Vandal. I think Fairy Vandal's a reprint. 2 mana, 1 generic and a blue. Fairy Rogue, uncommon with flash. Flying. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, put a +1/+1 counter on Fairy Vandal. It's a 1/2. 1/2 flyer with flash that can get bumped up. Thoughts. Still like a 2.9. I'm a little bit unimpressed with some of these flyers. Like I feel like I should be rating them higher, but I don't think I can. Next we have an offer you can't refuse. 1 blue mana, instant, uncommon. Counter target non-creature spell. Its controller creates 2 treasures tokens. That's kind of a 1 for me. It's really a 0, but I'm not going to rate any of them 0 until I get more information. Majestic Metamorphosis, 3 mana, 2 generic, and a blue. Instant common until end of turn. Target artifact or creature becomes a 4/4 angel artifact creature and gains flying. Draw a card. I don't know. I mean, this could be good, or it could be nothing. Like, you can turn your 1/1 into a 4/4 angel, block, or attack, draw a card. I'm going to give it 2.5 to 2.9. Because if you have like little 1/1 chumps and you're just messing them up with that, that could be really cool. Next we have Backstreet Bruiser. 2 mana, 1 generic, and a blue. Creature, Cephalid Rogue, common, defender. As long as there are 2 or more counters among creatures you control, it can attack as though it didn't have defender. It's a 3/3. I don't typically like cards like that, but they can be good. A 2-drop 3/3 that can potentially attack could show up and show out. I'm going to put it at like a 2. Like, if you can get those counters, great. Even if you can't, it's a pretty reliable defender. Next we have Sewer Crocodile. 6 mana, 5 generic, and a blue. Crocodile, common. You can pay for 3 generic and a blue. Can't be blocked this turn. It costs 3 less to activate if there are 5 or more mana values among cards in your graveyard. It's a 4/6. This might be a way that blue decks try to finish a game, because they could just do it for 1 blue or something. I'm going to have to give it like a 2.5 to 2.9. Because I think this could, I really think that could be a way that people close out their games in blue. Next we have Run Out of Town. 4 mana, 3 generic, and a blue. Instant. Common. The owner of target non-land permanent puts it on top or bottom of their library. I just don't like that ability. Like, then it doesn't draw for me. That's a 1, and that could drop down to a 0. Easy. Expendable Lackey. 1 mana, creature, human, citizen. So irrelevant creature type. common, pay 2, a generic and a blue. Exile it from your graveyard. Create a 1/1 blue fish token with this creature can't be blocked. I think that creature can't be blocked is going to be really powerful. So, like a Boggle type ability, you start equipping it and whatnot, they can't interact. You just beat face with these unblockable fish. I think that's somewhat playable. 1/1 that makes a creature later on for 2 that can't be blocked. I think that's a sleeper. I'm going to put it at 3. I really like that. Especially for a common card. Kind of like that. Like, it's almost like a 1-drop unblockable spell. Like, that's dope. Case the Joint. 4 mana. 3 generic and a blue. Instant. Draw 2 cards. Then look at the top card of each player's library. I'll give it a 2. It's not the best draw spell in my opinion. It's just Disdainful Stroke. Everybody knows Disdainful Stroke. Counter target spell with mana 4 or greater. I'm going to give it a 1. I think, people will probably play it. But every deck's definitely not going to want it. It's not going to guarantee you a game win. And we have Witness Protection for 1. There's a lot of 1 mana cost spells. Enchantment Aura, enchant creature. Enchanted creature loses all abilities and is a green and white citizen creature with base power, toughness 1/1, named legitimate business person. I think this is going to play similar to how well Bubble Snare played. How it kind of just can deal with like a really, really powerful threat for only 1 mana. Yeah, they get a 1/1 token. Cool, but it's not even a citizen. I like this. I'm going to put it at 3 for now. Okay. Ooh, I hope y'all are enjoying the extended content today. I'm doing my best to power through this set review, and I'm hoping to have it edited and nice and clean for people on my YouTube page. So if you enjoy my content, please be sure to like, follow, and subscribe so you know when I go live in the future. And if you want to contribute, you can always reach out to me on any social media platform. Soon I will be going over the black spells, but first I'm going to take a quick breather break. And then we're going to continue with our Streets of New Capenna set review. As always, you guys are fantastic. My name is Mr. Clintastic. I'll be right back.
Mess with the Yonko, going gung-ho. When we battle, then I finish you in one blow. More godly than long nose. Your worst thoughts, I've done those. Cause darkness is infinite, killing it. I do not care about innocence. I started wars with the dead on the floor. It's all part of my cause to be infamous. We are too different. Broken the worst out of prison. These killers are now on my bankroll. I've murdered for powers and nobody stopping me. Leaving them all in a black hole. No backbone. You cowards ain't nothing. I made the globe quake. I'ma leave your dreams dead. Luffy like your bro Ace.
One finger on the throat, now they choke you for air. Heroes are a joke to me, hope isn't there. Replay what we say, we're done, fight it fair. DK like DK, my company's rare. Yeah, I brought a team with me, fear in the league. Is he really just fiendishly evil? Believe what you're hearing, defeating me, please. You're deceived, I believe in that hero deceased.
The world, oh! Time nothing to be pleasant like a movie. It's your life and losing when the guns are shooting. You're approaching me, bluffing, not consuming. Everything you're stupidly doing and pursuing deals is proven to be useless. The sun has just set, I am set from the dead, and nobody is sick, cause I'll step in the back and then in your chest. See your hero fall. With Jojo's arrest from my cronies who know me. I stand on the world causing death under you or your loved one with no recompense. Like it's mesothelial mock. Transcending humanity, taking sanity in seconds or less. When you said that these other villains were the best, ha! You know, cool, no deal, da!
I've been fighting through pain and strife, so it's likely I might lose it. Know that my dogs have you in their sight, they pry that eye of Anubis. Don't dare mock with those rare hunters, they tear numbers from life pools. Rock and vaporize and smoke, you know it's not that type of jewel. Can't harm Marek, I'm barbaric, my mind's twisted like the card back is I'm dark magic. He's a fast bandit to the shadow realm while I laugh at him. Didn't fare so well when the pharaoh fell, sorry that I went and took my sender off. But she said I was 1,000 times better than you getting a millennium rod.
I take your planet, make it my country. Bow down and love me, you filthy monkey. I make them panic, there's none above me. Bow down and love me, This ain't even my final form.
Yo, it's a golden one, it's overdone. So let it go, cause I'm colder than frozen sun. Get my point of a death ball or death beam. And destroy my best form, the best scream. Lord Freeze, I'm winning. The great villain. I say chillin', I can just kill Krillin. Make a worm stop living in your world. Go missing in this rhythm and explode in about 5 minutes.
I started off so cold, couldn't fight the hunger, my soul hadn't grown whole. Want the taste, I know. Give me all the power and control that you roll. If you want me, you can find me playing gungy. Used to think that there was no one left that was above me. Evolution of the mind is proving that you might be something. So I'll spend my final minutes holding on to what I love. There's no recovery, yeah.
Formerly human, but now I've turned to a demon. I've turned your hair red like Karamas. But you gonna be bleeding. You don't want beef that's a vegan. They mute, you shouldn't be speaking. Like a Kanye album, when I'm done, you're gonna be leaking. You shooting finger guns, no, this ain't no Xbox Connect. I'll jack you up like Ethernet, that's how my fist will connect. Coronavirus, if I'm out, you better stay inside your house. Imagine what I'll do to you if I kill my potential spouse.
Lord Eisen, on top, that's what I said. But your girl, she can cover your soul scared. Your end is what I said, couldn't beat me on my worst day. I got ice, all white, drip. If it's what I want, then it's what I get. Want a battle, we can mix a spotter. I got numbers with the click. Listen, I gotta go dominate. We on different levels, we are not the same, so we don't conversate. Shut up. Thought you was winning, you're tripping, your victory is what I confiscate. Emotions out of sight, out of mind. My heart hollow, so it's hollow tips to your chest. Your whole squad getting olified.
I'm in the league, come in a feast. Gonna rain hell in you sheep. So what we want at least, we just want a piece. I'm not who you thought it would be. Overpowered to the peak, or you call it weak. You better hope it's tongue in cheek. They better know it isn't me. I'm not who you seek. You're looking for a different league. You're gonna flee because I'm getting tired of these humans. Trying to make us look stupid. I've been reincarnated. Lately I've turned myself a bit ruthless. It's true. I got more patience. I've waited years for this chance. And who knew that I looked up to the person I say I am?
I'm saying, Henny, are you okay? The one who don't play. Honestly, don't care how many show 'em when you won't slay. Mess with the creator, I will make it when you don't say nothing, cause you fear my very essence and you won't pray. I'm that man, you can catch hands, I never lack fam. Attack and watch me snap and leave you flat, man. That's facts, damn. I'm a Batman, so relax, plan. Every single move, don't let me curse you, it's a rap, fam.
Yeah, back from the dead, all Shinobi's about to drop. When I send rounds at him, that Onoki couldn't stop. When the fire release you, die you deceased. Bitch, I'm cooking, I'ma put your hidden lotus in a pot. Don't care about plot armor, you ain't armed, get a plot. You ain't going through my heart, then you all getting boxed. You alarmed, then you shot, there's no ceasing my wrath. You'll get more than 6 shots from the Sage of 6 Paths.
Tick, tick, boom. Take out mankind with a landmine, cause I'm damn right and I can't die. I'm a standby, use my hand signs on the sand tribe. Loading, explosion, I'm owning and closing the Katsukage. Approaching them, goading them, blowing them up sky high, kamikaze. Detonation, innovation, ready and getting impatient. Preparation, application, causing the disintegrations. You bother me, insult my pottery. When you're so shallow, battle me, you'll mess your face up like a Pablo Picasso. Hard as an explosion and I do it to the maximum. I never make mistakes, I keep making happy accidents. I'm scoring my victory, trickery, missing me, clay clones can't catch me. This my ability to live with these injuries, rolling with the Akatsuki.
Puppetry master, I gotta clash you faster. Look at your body, disaster. I've achieved perfection. I'm immortal under planks and plaster. Marionettes are bringing you death, huh? Watching you losing your breath. I can confess, one of the best. Next, I'll be removing your head. Grandma Chio, she ain't nothing but just a preachy hag. Don't be mad, I have had to grow up without mom and dad. Sekiro stumbling, never malfunction, encompassing powers emerge. Forms, think you can wonder and you will be suffering under the strength of the third Lord.
Everybody knows I'm the sickest virtuoso. Itachi of the Sharingan. Foes moving slow-mo, throw my shuriken with both eyes closed, that's a low blow. Even Orochimaru wants my body, no homo. All you think is funny when my bro is in a chokehold. All I see is blood when I start the manga Kyoto. Thinking you can pierce my armor, that's a Susa no-no. Take your whole fam, me and Toby kill him solo. Spitting his fireball keeps him makes water ball. This flow is more than Data's entire heart, thinking you know me. But this would've been my first time you seeing devil and trying to fight him. I'll send it as close to you cause you be down while I'll just be chilling. So your mind is gone. A shinobi unseen, how like applause.
Ayo! Hello, Fantastics. It's Mr. Clintastic, preparing to continue my limited set review on the streets of New Capenna. If you enjoy my content, please be sure to like, follow, and subscribe so that you know when I go live in the future. Alright, so I've already covered all of the multicolored spells, all of the white spells, all of the blue spells, and now we're moving on to the, I believe, black spells. So things are a bit out of order. We're working with it. Big thanks to Mythic Spoiler for, providing this very clean layout for me today. And yeah, so let's start with Body Launderer. Body Launderer is a 4 mana, 2 generic, 2 black creature, ogre, rogue, and mythic. Has Death Touch. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, Body Launderer connives. When Body Launderer dies, return another target non-rogue creature card with equal or lesser power from your graveyard to the battlefield. It's a 3/3. So a 4-drop 3/3 with Death Touch. It's okay. And it can connive over and over again. So it can connive is the ability, to draw a card, discard a card, and if it's a non-land card, I believe, you get to put a 1/1 counter on the creature, so it could potentially pump. And then when it dies, you can get a non-rogue back from your yard to the battlefield. I think Big Brains will play this. For me, it doesn't have any evasion. It's just a 4-drop 3/3 with Death Touch, which could easily be a 1-drop 1/1 with Death Touch. And for me, do the same thing. So I'm just going to give this a nice little 2. Like, I can see some people running it, giving it a try. I can probably even see it beating me, but I don't see it beating me on a regular basis. Next, we have Tenacious Underdog, 2 mana, 1 generic, and a black creature, human warrior, rare, with Blitz. Its Blitz cost is 4, 2 generic, 2 black, pay 2 life. If you cast a spell for its Blitz cost, it gains haste, and when this creature dies, draw a card. Ooh. Okay, sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. Is that just how Blitz work altogether? So, okay, wow. Alright, so I thought Blitz just gave haste, but Blitz also gives card advantage. That's really sweet. A 2-drop 3/2 that you can cast Tenacious Underdog from your graveyard using its Blitz ability. So this is recursive. It doesn't exile either. Oh man, I like that. I like that a lot. Let's see. I gotta give it like a 3 to 3.5. It doesn't have evasion, but the fact that it has that recursive element from the graveyard, I think that's really powerful. And that recursive element is attached to a freaking card draw ability. Dope. Alright, next we have Cut of the Prophets. X, 2 black, sorcery, rare. Causality 3, as you cast a spell, you may sacrifice a creature with power 3 or greater. When you do copy the spell, you draw X cards and you lose X life. No, I'm not doing that. If something tells me to lose life in limited, sorry y'all, don't even have the card in view. But yeah, if a card tells me to lose life in limited, I'm very weary of that. And yeah, I'm not going to want to lose a life for every card I draw. I don't care what color it's in. I'm going to give this a 1. Especially to be rare. Next we have Grizzly Sigil. 1 black, sorcery, uncommon with causality 1. Choose target creature or planeswalker. If it was dealt non-combat damage this turn, Grizzly Sigil deals 3 damage to it and you gain 3 life. Huh. Otherwise, it deals 1 damage to it and you gain 1 life. So it's a 1 mana. One mana, deal 1, gain 1 to a creature. If that creature was dealt non-combat damage, it deals 3 more damage. So if you somehow deal non-combat damage, and then you can causality 1 it to copy it. Like, I'm making that face, but I think it might be playable. Might. I'm gonna give it a 2. It's just so confusing for me. I don't know how to feel about it. Next we have Illicit Shipment. 5 mana, 3 generic and 2 black sorcery, uncommon, causality 3. You know, you can copy if you sack a creature with that mana cost, no, with power 3 or greater. Search your library for a card, put it into your hand, then shuffle. I'm giving that a 1. I could just have a card that's playable. What are you talking about? Instead of finding the card that I want to play, I could just have the card. Night Clubber. I love that name. 3 mana, 1 generic, 2 black, creature, human, warrior, uncommon. When it ETBs, creatures your opponents control get -1/-1 till end of turn. Pretty sweet, and it has a blitz cost. This could really wreck token builds or the citizen builds. I'm gonna give this a 2 to like a 2.9. That neg ability on it could be powerful, and then think about it in multiples. And then it's only creatures your opponents control. That's pretty nice. Next we have Maestro's Initiate, 3 mana, 2 generic and a black, human citizen, very relevant creature type, common, pay 5, 4 generic, blue-red hybrid, exile it from your graveyard, draw 2 cards, then discard a card. It's a 3/1. I mean, I guess it's playable. I wouldn't, if you have to jam it, go ahead. It can draw you cards from the graveyard, you know, and be a chump. Next we have Revel Ruiner. 4 mana, 3 generic, and a black. Cephalid Rogue, common with menace. Enters the battlefield, it connives. It's a 3/1. I think the menace is relevant. I think this could be a 3 mana card too. I'm gonna just put this down and like, for me, really like a 1. Like, it's not good. A 4 mana 4/2, potential 4/2 with menace. Okay, I'll respect it. I'll respect it. If it's coming at me, I don't think I'd be too happy about that. Join the Maestros. 5 mana, 4 generic and a black. Sorcery, common, causality 2. Create a 4/3 black ogre creature warrior. So this could potentially make 2 4/3 black ogres. I'll put it at 2 as well. I think someone could play this against me, and I'd be a little upset to see that for 1 mana, for 1 card, they got 2 4/3s. Granted, they have to have the creatures for it. We'll see how that works for them. Next, we have Dig Up the Body. 3 mana, 2 generic and a black instant with causality 1. Mill 2 cards and you may return a creature from your graveyard to your hand. I will not be doing that. I hate milling myself. I'm going to give that a 1. Girder Goons. 5 mana, 4 generic and a black. Creature, ogre, warrior, common. When it dies, create a tapped 2/2 black rogue creature token, and it has blitz for 4. So it could be a 4/4 for 4 with haste that draws you a card when it dies at the end of the turn. Girder Goons, I'm telling you, you're looking kind of nice there. I'm going to put it like 2.5 to 2.9. It's not the type of card that I typically want to play, but I can see someone slamming my face with it, and that's not cool. Alright, on to the rest of the black spells down here. We have Angel of Suffering. 5 mana, 3 generic, 2 black. Creature, Nightmare Angel. Love the creature type. Nightmare Angel. That's dope. Mythic flying. If damage would be dealt to you, prevent that damage and mill twice that many cards. Huh? A 5/3. A 5-drop, 5/3 flying. that prevents damage and makes me mill myself. I'm gonna put this at 3. I mean, it's 5 drop, 5/3 with flying. I just don't like milling myself. Honestly, I think that's a 3 or below. Especially to be mythic. That's not impressive. That's not an impressive mythic. Next we have Sanguine Spy. 3 mana, 2 generic, and a black. Creature Vampire Rogue. Rare, Menace, Lifelink. Pay 1, sacrifice another creature, look at the top card of your library. You may put that card into your graveyard. No. At the beginning of your end step, if there are 5 more mana values among cards in your graveyard, you may pay 2 life. If you do, draw a card. Menace, Lifelink. What? Ain't no way. Let's see. No one's mentioned a problem about that before. Yeah, I got sound. I have sound on Facebook. Testing. I got sound on Twitch. I don't know, Montague, but thank you for pulling up. I'm going to continue this review on Sanguine Spy. Menace, Lifelink, 2/3. That we can, I mean, this could probably go, if there's a, like a snatch and sack type situation going on, this could be good. Menace, Lifelink, I think is solid on its own. I think I can put this at like 2.5 by itself. And depending on how it plays, it could probably go up. Next we have Shadow of Morality. No, Shadow of Mortality. It's 15 mana. 13 generic, 2 black, creature avatar, rare. If your life total is less than your starting life total, this spell costs X less to cast, where X is the difference. So if your starting life total is 20 and you're down at 10 life, this only costs 5 mana. So it'd be like a 5 mana 7/7. But if you're at 7 life, it's a 2 mana 7/7. I don't trust this at all. I'm putting this at 1.9. I don't trust the card. I feel like it's definitely a trap to get you to think you can pull that off and be happy. I don't want to be that low in life to be able to play my spells. It's not cool. Next we have Cemetery Tampering. 3 mana, 2 generic, and a black enchantment, rare with Hideaway 5. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may mill 3 cards. It's at least a May ability. Then if there are 20 or more cards in your graveyard, you may play the exile card without paying its mana cost. I'll put this, I think, higher than the other ones. I think I put them at 1. I'll put this at 2. I think all of the colors are going to have this hideaway ability enchantment. I think this is decent. It doesn't make you mill. But it's really specific. This could be a 2 or below. Like, it could be 1.9 as well, because, I mean, if you don't do it right, you're just going to lose a card. I'm not really big on exiling my things and not being able to get it back. Next we have Shakedown Heavy. 3 mana, 2 generic, and a black. Creature, Ogre, Warrior, rare with Menace. When it attacks, defending player may have you draw a card. If they do, okay. At least the stream didn't go down. I've been dealing with such technical difficulties. Like, I finally got it so that the whole computer doesn't shut down on me. But as you see, I still have programs that are shutting down, and I even have my internal game monitor, like computer monitor, so I can see like my internal temperature, if anything is going out of whack, and I'm still kind of getting errors. So I'm gonna be taking this rig to the shop soon enough. Thank you for bearing with me. So let's try to get back to it. Yeah, we were on Cemetery Tampering. Went on down to Shakedown Heavy, the 3 mana, 2 generic, and a black Ogre Warrior. With Menace, whenever it attacks, they may have you draw a card. If they do, untap Shakedown Heavy and remove it from combat. I like this a lot because it's a 3 mana 6/4 is why I like it. With Menace, like, what are you talking about? This is like a 4-2-5. 4-2-5 to me. No, it's not my Wi-Fi. I have a direct connection into the system. I'm guessing it's either a software issue, a thermal paste issue with my processor, a RAM issue. Maybe a motherboard issue. But we'll see. But anyways, I think Shakedown Heavy is a clear 4-5 pick. It's pretty sweet with Menace and being a 6/4. It's like one of the more powerful creatures I've seen. And it's not even freaking legendary. Give it to me all day. Next we have Whack. 4 mana, 3 generic, and a black sorcery. Uncommon. The spell costs 3 less to cast if it targets a white creature. Target creature gets -4/-4 until end of turn. 4 mana to -4/-4 something is not that great when you have white already dealing 4 damage to attacking and blocking creatures. Like, I would rather my 4 mana black card just blow something up. I'll give this a 2. I mean, I against white decks is going to be fine, but just solo, it's not looking that great. It could be dust buildup. I'm gonna take it apart, especially before Thursday, because as soon as the set release, I plan to draft as much as possible. I even locked down one sponsor for this Thursday to make sure I have enough gems and whatnot. So I'm gonna be shouting them out, and after I'm done streaming today, I'm gonna reach out to a few more. I'm trying to put out as much content as possible. All right, continuing on, we have Rogue's Gallery. Love the name. 3 mana, 2 generic, and a black sorcery. For each color, return up to 1 target creature of that color from your graveyard to your hand. So this could get you like 5 cards from your graveyard. If I'm thinking about that right. That seems pretty damn strong. I'm gonna put that to like 2 to 3. Because if people actually pull that off and they get 3+ creatures off of it, I'm going to be impressed. Next we have Dusk Mangler. 7 mana, 5 generic, 2 black. Creature, horror, uncommon. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice a creature. Discard a card or pay 4 life. Okay, when it ETBs, each opponent sacrifices a creature, discard a card, and loses 4 life. No thank you. There's not even a way to make it cheaper. It's just a 7 mana. Ugh. No, I'm giving that a 1. I like the abilities it has, but people are going to really have to prove that worth to me. Next we have Vampire Scrivener. 5 mana, 4 generic and a black. Creature, Vampire Warlock, uncommon. Flying, whenever you gain life during your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Whenever you lose life on your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on it. I'm giving this a 1. Still, a 5 mana 2/2 that I gotta build up? Who do they think I am? Who do they think we are, really? I would give it, I just have not been given anything zeros, but I'm very unimpressed with that. Next we have Graveyard Shift. 5 mana, 4 generic and a black sorcery. This spell has flash as long as there are 5 or more mana values among cards in your graveyard. Return target creature from your graveyard to the battlefield. I think this is interesting. I'll give it a 2. 2 to 2.5. Once again, it's not winning you the game, but a flash creature from the graveyard could be pretty cool. Next we have Tavern Swindler. 2 mana, 1 generic and a black. Creature, human rogue, uncommon. You can tap it, pay 3 life, flip a coin. If you win the flip, you gain 6 life. It's a 2/2. A 2/2 for 2 is fine. I'm just going to give it a 2. I don't like that. Like, it doesn't even have evasion. No. You're going to hear me say evasion a lot, because that's really what I'm looking for with some of my spells, especially on my creatures. Demon's Due, 4 mana, 3 generic, and a black instant. Scry 2, draw 2 cards, lose 2 life. Simple. I think this is a 2 as well. It's not the best draw spell, but it is 1 in black, and I can see people playing it. Next we have Cricket Custodian. 2 mana, 1 generic and a black. Creature Ogre, common. It ETB's tapped. It's a 3/2. I give it a 2. Not exciting, but not horrible. I don't like that it comes in tapped. Next we have Midnight Assassin. 3 mana, 2 generic and a black. Creature Vampire Assassin, common. Flying, Death Touch, 1/2. It's really just a 2 for me at the moment. I could reassess this and completely change it up, but the more I see the flyers on the low end, I'm very, very unimpressed. We've had 1 mana cards that are freaking 1/2s in the air. Fake Your Own Death. 2 mana, 1 generic and a black instant. Until end of turn, target creature gets +2/+0 and gains when this creature dies. Return it to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control, and you create a treasure token. I'll give that a 1.1. I'm not gonna play it for real. I feel like it just takes too much. But that could change depending on how the format goes. Next we have Throat Contender. 1 black, creature vampire warrior. Common, pay 1 life. It gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Activate only once a turn. I don't like that. I don't want to pay life for something so minuscule. Give me more. Corrupt Court Official. 2 mana, 1 generic and a black. Creature, human advisor, common. When it ETBs, target opponent discards a card. It's a 1/1. I know people love these abilities for 2. I don't. It's not the type of strat I'm going to be working with. I'm going to give it a 1. I think it's going to see way more play than that rating, and that's really going to irritate me, but I don't think it's good. It could come down late game, discard nothing, and be a 1/1. Trash. Next we have Extract the Truth. 2 mana. 1 generic and a black sorcery. Choose 1. Target opponent reveals their hand. You may choose a creature, enchantment, or planeswalker card from it. That player discards that card. Target opponent sacrifices an enchantment. I'm giving this a 1 as well. Not impressed. Deal Gone Bad. 4 mana. 3 generic and a black. Instant. Target creature gets -3/-3 until end of turn. Target player mills 3 cards. I'm going to give this a 1.5. These are just very poor interactive spells. Like, for the mana cost. If the format allows, and I mean, we're just going super slow, and by the time I get to 4 mana, I'm like, yay, I get to -3 something with my black spell, I'll be proven wrong. But until then, that's getting a 1. And I'll probably get it if we just have limited, no, I said 1.5, limited removal spells, but geez, that's kind of bad. Incriminate, 2 mana, 1 generic and a black, sorcery. Choose 2 target creatures controlled by the same player. That player sacrifices 1 of them. So if they don't have 2 creatures, I can't do anything with the card. That's getting a 1. Jeez. Some of these cards are just not the easiest to play. Murder. Thank you. Murder. That's what I want. Yes, that's what I want. Yeah, give me some of that. Give me some of that. Like, that's 4 to 5 with what I'm seeing. God dang. Just let me destroy a creature. No questions asked. Target creature gets -3/-3 into for 4. No. Murder for 3. Alright. So that concludes the black portion, or the black spells from Streets of New Capenna. If you enjoy my content, please be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to help my channel grow in the future. I'm going to be back, and we're going to be going over the red spells. As always, you guys are fantastic. My name is Mr. Clantastic. I'll be right back. Hopefully.
Yeah, surge of the death. I remember the nerves from your head. Certainly dead. Submarine, cause I emerged from the depths. Cut them clean, I got no words to be said. Fuck you mean you never heard on the best. Chorus on how they ain't making a noise. When I roll with my boys, they be turning them red. Shout out to Beppo, there's beasts in my circle of friends. Heart pirates, but my gang, we stay heartless. Start fires when I load up the cartridge. Hardwired, I've been used to the carnage. War dog, I leave him hurt when I give him the boot like a martyr. Who's fucking asking? Lay down the law, I'm not using no pardons. Step in my room and I'm moving compartments. Shambles, breaking my apart like I'm fusing with carbon.
Yeah, go to war with the pool, I got beats on the air and they ready to shoot. I ain't talking my fruit. You get played like a flu, ride around with my crew, better give me the loot. I'm playing with a scratch man, bang with a backhand, strafe in the badlands, crazy and madman, staying in the trash can, gang in the back, long arm staying on me, finna spray with a strap. Bang! Pulling up with uses, Drake get the shooting, and the way we moving, anything you doing, bringing pain with music. See my gang get stupid, can't avoid my moves, and know we ain't disputing. If you hear him, bet you disappear and hear him before you see him. Know you better fear him. Shot the coast is clear, they running, can't get near him. When it's said and done, the world is gonna revere him.
Metal grip it, lead tin is red to spill it. Get them sent into the medic clinic. Magnetic with it, any ferrous dimmers, they gon' know the score like this is Metacritic. Got some brass bollocks, all these coppers, I'm making them sink. Gibson attacking the amp noise. Boy got the gears like it's clink, clank, clink. I join together, but don't call them me alloys. More of attraction, chicks get in the field. Cover another bullets and a bend of the steel. Draw them out, I call them north and south. I got 2 poles for them if they step in my field. Kid the killer with the killer, hit the kill the bigger figures and the sinner sicker fan. Been a victim and don't trim a wicker man. Literally, I'm just built different.
I got 2 sides swinging through the wind. Leave them chopped and trimmed. Used our luck up, story so fucked up. Where should I be? survival was slaying. Mask on my face, I'm hiding my green. We done lost so many, it's just me, king. So I guess you could say that killer is pissed. I got 2 blades, leave 2 paid, I don't need third. Mask on, laughing to myself, I don't say a word. Already got the medal for you cleaving, never glass squeezing, that's too easy. I'ma support the ambitions, my captain his wishes, regardless of whatever problem. All of y'all struggles fictitious, so sit back and listen, we winning, don't care what it
For
costs
F's
us.
sake, X marks the Drake and head mask and cape. Our quests aren't the same. I'm steadfast and brave. See breast arse and fate. Got chest guards and face double cross. I to test off these fakes 10 times as great. Red flag, step back, then plans get axed when I force a blade. Scratch men off the list, tell him he lacks skill. Cause if X won't give it to you, D as will. Dinosaurin on the high seas, high freeze. Undercover sword, I'll be the spy team. Fight me like a carnivore, I make a guy meet my teeth. When the Allosaurus recognize he's mighty. Step into my zone. Methods of my own. Like Scalab, I can shatter through their weapons and their bones. Climbed out the barrels of a minion story. You could find one piece, but you'll never find Dory.
Jory Bonnie, I roll this scrawny shit, man, as I sit and enjoy the bounty. 4 fools around me, astounding. The only time I'm over 140 is on my bounty. Only female land captain in the worst generation. Racing, my margarita's always moving. I'm a pirate. I would never help a stranger, young or especially old. I'd rather con these losers. Beat my world government, escape the ish twice. Defeated Blackbeard, but you saw the kick right. My claws are skin tight. The cost of this fight is losing your life quickly with old and thin white hair. Men don't even dare to murder me. And money heads more than my favorite Berserker green. My bunny pirates will forever worship me. And every other supernova on this earth will see.
Yeah, man knows my name, but they know my face, but they know my bounty. Yes. It's Big Gang Beige, crew on my back, couldn't move without me. Roll them up and smoke this folk, cause we do this loudly. If he bugging, then he get cut and this crew gon' clown him. Yo, really not worth a hassle, man thinks I'm an asshole. Shorty got me bricked up castle, judgment drop that hammer like apples. 10 toes down, you steps, you get tread on. Move with Shirley came with new tread on. Big body, now big body, you built like a market shot to get fed on.
Ayo! Hello, Fantastics. It's Mr. Clintastic, continuing on with my Streets of New Capenna limited set review. If you enjoy my content, please be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to help my channel grow in the future. Alright, so it's been a long day for me. I've already gone over the multicolored spells, the white spells, the blue spells, and the black spells. So we are now onto the red spells. Yeah, and we still got quite a ways to go, so let's just get started. Once again, shout out to mythicspoiler.com. This is their website that they have graciously organized for everyone to see the cards in a beautiful fashion. Alright, so it seems that our first red card is Devilish Valet. 3 mana, 2 generic, and a red. Creature Devil Warrior, rare, trample, haste, alliance. Whenever another creature enters battlefield under your control, double Devilish Valet's power until end of turn. It's a 1/3 with trample and haste. I don't like that. What up, Montague? But yeah, I don't like the Devilish Valet. Trample haste is fine on a 3/3 and just take everything else away. But a 1/3, and when you creature comes to battlefield, it doubles the power, but it doesn't give it double strike. So I'm gonna give this a 2. Even though it's rare, I'm not feeling. Next we have Rob the Archives. 2 mana, 1 generic, and a red. Sorcery, uncommon, causality 1, exile the top 2 cards of your library. You may play those cards this turn. I'm going to give that a 1. This is, you can copy it, but gee whiz. You're getting into some high mana costs when you're doing things like that. Next we have Jaxus the Troublemaker. 4 mana, 3 generic, and a red. Legendary creature, human warrior, pay a red. Tap, discard a card. Create a token that's a copy of another target creature you control. It gains haste, and when this creature dies, draw a card. So it's like pseudo blitz. Sacrifice it at the beginning of next end step. Activate only as a sorcery. And this also has blitz. I'm going to give it a 1.5 to be respectful. But I really think this might be a 1. I might be rating some of these cards too low, but they're just not looking like they're going to do much. I'm going to have to really see them at work to get a more accurate idea. Next we have Riveter's Requisitioner. 2 mana, 1 generic and a red creature via Shino Rogue. Uncommon. When it dies, create a treasure token. Blitz 3. So I like this. It's a 3/1. You can blitz this for 3, swing in on an empty board or whatnot, or swing in, have them block with a creature and trade, and then when it dies, you draw a card and you make a treasure token. There's a lot of value on this card for 2 mana. That I'm gonna give it a 2.9. I think it's right there. I think it's right there on just being a great card. It does a lot. Next we have Sizzling Soloist. I'm a trombone player myself, so the artwork is just amazing. I think that's so cool. I will these are 5 just for having a trombone player, but I can't do that. It's 4 mana, 3 generic and a red, creature, human, citizen, relevant creature type. Uncommon with Alliance. Whenever another creature ETB is under your control, target creature an opponent controls can't block this turn. If this is the second time this ability has resolved this turn, that creature attacks during its controller next combat phase if able. It's a 3/2. 4-drop 3/2 is just not good. I'm sorry, Soloist. I'm sorry. I gotta give you like a 1. If you show up and show out for me, but no. I'm not nabbing that up immediately. Next we have Witty Roastmaster. It's 3 mana, 2 generic and a red, Devil Citizen, common with Alliance. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, Witty Roastmaster deals 1 damage to each opponent. It's a 3/2. I'm giving this a 2.9, and I think that could go up. You get multiple copies of this, and you're running some kind of create token creature strat. You're just pinging them, ping, 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 and it doesn't even say only once a turn. This could be like a white-red token enabler, or whatever else makes tokens. I like that a lot. It doesn't have evasion. It needs to be built around. That's why I'm not giving it a 3 or above immediately. But I could see Witty Roastmaster roasting up my life points. Next we have Pugnacious Pugilist. I never really been impressed with the Pugilist. 5 mana, 3 generic, 2 red, Ogre Warrior, uncommon. When it attacks, create a tapped and attacking 1/1 red devil creature token with, when this creature dies, it deals 1 damage to any target. I think that's gonna be a good mechanic too, to just ping out the opponent, those little devils. It has blitz, so it's a 4. It could be a 4-drop 4/4 with haste that makes a 1/1 attacking devil that pings, and then it draws you a card when it dies. 2.9. It's not my favorite type of play, but it's right there. It's right there where it needs to be. And depending on how people play it, I mean, it could be even better. Riveteer's Initiate. 2 mana, 1 generic and a red. Creature via Shino Citizen, common. You can pay a generic and a hybrid green-black. Riveteer Initiate gains Death Touch until end of turn, 2/2. I'll give it a 2. I'm sure somebody's gonna have it lurking around, but I'm not. I doubt I play it at all. Mayhem Patrol, 2 mana, 1 generic and a red. Creature, Devil Warrior, common with Menace. Okay. Whenever it attacks, target creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn. So it could get +1/+0 for itself. So it could be a 2-drop 2/2 with Menace with Blitz. Yeah, I like that. That's a 2.9 too. These red cards are looking pretty good. And if they get in the right deck, yeah, they're looking better than the blue cards to me. All right, light him up. Light him up, up, up. 2 mana, 1 generic and a red. Sorcery, common, causality 2. Light 'em up deals 2 damage to target creature or planeswalker. I'm gonna give this a 2. It's just, come on now. Give me a little more, like 1-drop red card. This is, I know you can causality too. Sack something else and copy it. Great. But at the same time, I'm just like, this isn't even slowing down my opponent enough. Plasma Jockey, 4 mana, 3 generic and a red. Creature Viashino Warrior, common. Whenever it attacks, target creature an opponent controls can't block. It has Blitz 3, and it's a 3/1. The Blitz deck might be able to do something. The fact that it can make a creature not be able to block might be relevant. I'll give it a 2 for now. Just because I'm giving these cards 2s and higher. I'm rating them higher than the blue spells because collectively they are coming off better. I think they might be coming off better than the black spells did too, because even Angel of Suffering was a little bit like, really? Alright. Urabrask Heretic Predator. Hope I said that right. 5 mana, 3 generic, 2 red. Legendary creature, Phyrexian Predator. Mythic, haste. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of your library. You may play it this turn. At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, the next time they would draw a card this turn, instead they exile the top card of the library. They may play it this turn. I love this. This is great. It's a 4/4. This is a 5 to me. A 5-drop 4/4 with haste that gives you card value that ruins your opponent's, like, that could potentially ruin their card value. I'm giving this a 4.5 to a 5. That's really sweet to me. Arcane Bombardment, 6 mana, 4 generic, 2 red, enchantment mythic. Whenever you cast your first instant or sorcery spell each turn, exile an instant or sorcery card at random from your graveyard. Then copy each card exiled with Arcane Bombardment. You may cast any number of copies without paying their mana costs. I'm going to give it a 1. This is a card I think I would try to play in Limited. But, I mean, in Standard or another format. But in Limited, I'm not. This is 6 mana. Do nothing. Like, maybe 7 mana. Cast 1 spell. I don't know. It gets a 1, maybe 1.5 if somebody can play it properly. Structural Assault, 5 mana, 3 generic, 2 red. Sorcery, rare, destroy all artifacts. Then it deals damage to each creature equal to the number of artifacts that were put into the graveyards from the battlefield this turn. I'm going to give this a 1 to a 2. I really, really got to see how that plays out. If we're going to have artifact dominant format going on, like, I just got to see. Widespread Thieving, 3 mana, 2 generic, and a red, enchantment, rare, with Hideaway 5. Whenever you cast a multicolor spell, create a treasure token. Then you may pay white, blue, black, red, green. If you do, you may play the exile card without paying its mana cost. You're not paying the mana cost of the exile card, but you're freaking paying 5 mana. So you have to cast a multicolor spell, which won't be too hard, I guess. Then you have to pay 5. 0. 0. I'm giving this a 0. I haven't given anything a 0 all day. But that gets a... Don't play that. Yikes. Next we have Horde Holler. 4 mana, 3 generic and a red. Artifact vehicle, rare, trample. Whenever it deals Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, create a treasure token for each artifact they control. Crew 3. 4 mana 5/5 Crew 3 with trample. I'm going to give it a 2 to 2.5. If it just made a treasure token automatic, cool, but they have to have a... This could even go up higher than 2.5. It just kind of depends how many artifacts is in the format. Professional Face Breaker. Oh boy. 3 mana, 2 generic and a red. Creature, human, warrior, rare, menace. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, create a treasure token. Sacrifice the treasure, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. It's a 2/3 with menace. This is getting a 2.9 for me, and it could definitely be rated higher. Everything about this seems really cool because you could play this, have another creature attack, make your treasure token, sack the treasure the next turn, get the ooh. There's a lot of value on there. A lot of value. Torch Breath. X red instant uncommon. This spell costs 2 less to cast if it targets a blue permanent. This spell can't be countered. That's always relevant. And Torch Breath deals X damage to target creature or planeswalker. Okay. Gets a 2.9 for me as well. I mean, you're not gonna you'll enjoy it. It'll be able to hit a lot of targets, avoid counter spells. Glittering Stockpile. 3 mana, 2 generic, and a red. Artifact Treasure. Uncommon. Tap, add red, put a stash counter on it. Tap, sacrifice it, add X mana of one color where X is the number of stash counters on Glittering Stockpile. It's a ramp spell, but I don't rate it highly. I'm giving this a 1. It's unimpressive. I mean, it's not going to win you any games. It might ramp you big for a turn or something, but that's it. Involuntary Employment. 4 mana, 3 generic, and a red. Sorcery, uncommon. Gain control of target creature until end of turn. Untap that creature. It gains haste until end of turn. Create a treasure token. Yikes. I like this. I'm going to give it a 2.5 and if we can make a snatch and sack deck, this is what we're going to need. But I don't know if we're going to be able to get there. That's really cool. And the fact that it makes a treasure makes it even better. Call in the Professional, 3 mana, 2 generic, and a red instant. Players can't gain life this turn. Damage can't be prevented this turn. Call in a Professional, deals 3 damage to any target. Oh, 3 damage to any target. Call in the Professional. I'm giving this a 4. 3 damage to any target. You have multiples of these. You can just... Your face? Yeah, meet my fist. Love it. I might be rating it too high. It might be a 3.5. But still, that's pretty good. Instant speed 2, yes. Pyre Sledge Arsonist. 3 mana, 2 generic and a red. Viashino Shaman. Uncommon. Pay 1 tap, deal X damage to any target where X is the number of permanents you've sacrificed this turn. It's a 2/2. I'm going to give that a 1.9. Off the top of my head, I'm like, that's not great. But somebody's going to prove me wrong. Like, I got a good feeling someone's going to prove me wrong. Unlucky Witness. 1 red, creature, human, citizen, uncommon. When it dies, exile top 2 cards of your library until next end step. You may play one of those cards. It's a 1/1. I'll give it a 2. I think it's interesting for red to have that ability. Daring Escape, also 1 mana, red, instant. Target creature gets +1/+0 and gains first strike until end of turn. Scry 1. I'm going to give it a 1. It's just a support spell. I do not... Y'all can beat me up if you want. I do not really support spells. They're not... I mean... I'd rather just blow something up. Antagonize. 2 mana, 1 generic, and a red instant. Target creature gets +4/+3 until end of turn. I'm going to give that a 1 as well. I'm not even going to click on it. Don't judge me. Just a pump spell. Wrecking Crew, 4 mana. No, 5 mana. 4 generic and a red. Human Warrior with Reach and Trample. 4/5. 2.5. Like, it's almost a 5/5 for 5, which would be solid. But it has Reach and Trample. That versatility, I think, is admirable, respectable. But I could easily take that down, I believe. Ready to Rumble. 5 mana, 4 generic and a red. Sorcery. Common. Choose 1. Deal 5 damage to target creature or planeswalker. Or destroy target artifact. I'll give it a 2. I don't like it at all. Honestly, I'll give it like a 1.5 to a 2. Like a 1.75. If we are very low on removal, yeah. Otherwise, and then over the course of the season, the more and more I skip this card, the more and more the rating is going to go down for me. Next we have Jackhammer. 2 mana, 1 generic, and a red. Artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +2/+0 with equip 2. I'm giving it a 1. And y'all got to take that with a grain of salt. Like I said, equip spells, support spells, they're just, unless it's something like the one, I can't remember, the white artifact that came down, attached automatically, gave a creature flying and lifelink or something, then I'd talk. But other than that, no. Exhibition Magician. Love the name. 3 mana, 2 generic, and a red. Human Wizard. Common. When it ETBs, choose 1. Create a 1/1 green and white citizen creature token or create a treasure. I'll give it a 2.9. I'll give it 2.5 because I think I'm biased. I like that it comes down and makes a creature or a treasure. I think multiples of these could be really good, just depending on what you do. So I'm going to give it a 2.5 to 2.9 and see how it plays out, because that 3 mana is not too expensive for that ability. Sticky Fingers, 1 mana. Enchantment Aura, common. Enchant creature. Enchanted creature has menace. And whenever it deals combat damage to a player, create a treasure token. Whenever an enchanted creature dies, draw a card. Sticky Fingers looks really nice. What? Jund, I think, is looking really nice. It's still a support spell at the end of the day. I'm going to give it a 1.5, though. I'm going to give it a little some. Goldhound. 1 mana, red. Artifact creature, treasure dog. First strike, menace, sacrifice it, add 1 mana of any color for 1. Okay. I think that's nice. I'm going to put it at 2.5, really. It's a treasure in itself. It has menace and first strike. That's nice. Big score, 4 mana, 3 generic, and a red. Instant. As an additional cost to cast this spell, discard a card. Draw 2 cards, create 2 treasure tokens. Whew. I love spells like this, big score. It's a draw spell that makes treasures. I'm going to give it a 2.5 as well. That could go up or down depending on the format. Because it's not removing a creature. It's not, killing the opponent. So that's why I'm like, a little wary. And we have Strangle. 1 mana, red, sorcery. Deal 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker for 1 mana. That makes that 2 mana card garbage. This is common too. I'm putting this at 3. 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker is really nice. For 1. That's a very low investment. So red was looking pretty cool. I wasn't, completely disappointed with Red at all. So yeah, we're just churning away with this set review. I hope y'all are enjoying today. Hope y'all, if you could, share to your social media platforms or share to some groups that you might think are interested. I still have to go over the green spells and the artifacts and the lands. And then that'll be it. So please stay tuned if you enjoy my content. Like, follow, and subscribe to help my channel grow in the future. As always, you guys are fantastic. My name is Mr. Clantastic, and I'm going to be right back with some more Streets of New Capenna limited set.
Abominating like a meteor, whole brawn I'm looking media. I'm feeling the demon power seeping through my exterior. You're fearing the anti-magic, anti-coward, anti-weak, anti-giving up when I'm pushing my limits past the peak. Black ball, I'm herding the mages like cattle. I'm tearing the pages a handful like tackle. Not binding my fury, no shackles. A king don't need no vassals, no castles like Hanover. All I need is passion when I battle with my black clover.
Look, they see the hair, salt and pepper, cause now we're in effect. In fact, that might just make the swing a flaming bat at your neck. The man is in check, the red around me giving such a lemon effect. I fight the fan, a flame the fan in the death. Yeah, when the flame is on, I come hitting like a truck. I feel the game you're gone with the grand slam struck. I protect every bond with the prison kill buckshot. Trying to take me on, you gon' need a lot of luck.
Drinking down to this a clear bottle, a fierce model, always looking through these beer goggles. When I hear trouble, my magic causes severe struggle. This fear is awful, but I'm older now, no mere muggle. Handle the threats when I'm crafting a weapon, I'm grabbing the dead like the marionettes. Unravel the rest when they tingle with heads, and I'm making a weave just snatch from heads. I'm a treat, no trick, this isn't Halloween. I'm a wicked witch, defying gravity.
Lady Charmer with the powers of a portal gun. Escape plan always ready if you're thinking that we ought to run. No place you need to walk to, hun. I could take you anywhere. Fetch flowers from a mountaintop or catch you falling dairy. Yeah, sick night, kill it with the dip-dyed hair. Opposition rips, I'll see you on the flip side. Yeah. Doesn't even matter if the placement is careless. You can't dodge it cause you just don't have the spatial awareness.
Hello? Fight me, I'm ready to show you that all of my luck is my own. Because everywhere that I'll be running around, they all know that I'm bringing the Thunderdome. Landing in circle, be trying your luck when I'm sizing you up. Excited as fuck and my smile is stuck. While you be dying from what I conduct. Giving you a second and whenever when I talk. Unless you get a box, cause I with a love with. Then I got gloves and checking from above. Yeah, I laugh at death, but I'm not possessed. I promise when I fought as a child, mama said to knock you all out.
There must be a silver lining for a silver with no resign. Control his mind when the stars align. I meant to color us out the lines. Third class but first rate, check the birthplace. Soon dead, no, not me, that is not the case. Born with a broken wing, no silver eagle. I'm a black bull, Randy schools of water, drown the eagle. Mom died, giving birth to me, so I'm gonna be her legacy. Mess with my friends, back a refos to biology.
I didn't know trap my whole honto psycho this. Get some ash for sure in your nose and chest. For a black heart, I'm a handful. Now you're dealing with the black mask from the black bull Zora. But what's the link? If you bug me, get the stink. Any trouble that you bring will get doubled like a twin barker. Forget manner, you need manners. Aristocratic types get put in a magic days cause you ain't magic knights.
You about to attack, funny you say that. I'll twist your magic so that we can fight back. My body can change and my house is type of fact. I don't need confidence when I am stacked. Yes, I am shy, I'm not a guy, a practical black bull and I can save lives. It's a lie to say I don't like to hide, but what truly matters is what's hidden inside. Story of Cinderella has nothing on me. I was abused by my stepfamily, mad at me for magically being unique. Call me ugly, I'll fight for this magic night clique. I'm my own person, but hurting my squad will learn you a defeat.
It's the man with the whisper, no yin yang twins. The silent killer with the poison that will eat they skin. You want bull, then I'm right here. Welcome to the rodeo. You keep on taking shots, then I'ma give your ass an overdose. Wait till you see my book. I ain't playing, just wait till you see my book. It's full of recipes. I'm Ramsey with the grimoire, surfing up my specialty. G's moving silent, so you better be respecting me.
Looking for my slumber, I hunger, so bring an army. No wonder I start the party. You blunder with basic charming. Food hardy, so do not waste it. I hate it. I'll whip you like cake mix. The basics of cooking, every plate is made for greatness. A hybrid who's finding my goals, keeping you tight knit while I'm in control. Like I'm music, keep on blowing my love for you. Know it's showing up smoking mean, and I'm knowing that I'm a wolf and she's clothing.
Just been a bit of a long road, but we'll keep trekking through it all. I promise on my life that I'll be there for you, though if you call, I'll keep you safe in any way. Even with backs up on the wall, I got this mirror magic, bringing fear and havoc till they fall. It's hard to treat you unfair, they all freeze when you stare. Don't care for me, it's for Marie. I tend to bleed when I care, and now when they see reflections, it will not be me that they fear. So please tell me when you're in need, I swear you'll see I'll be there.
My team don't know that I'm here, but I've been around. The ops about to lose this round. I bring the house down, equipped with the bulls and osses. My projectile, check how I make my house. Do a ground pound, don't play me close. I'll check it, man, and you better dip. Turn my crib into a ship and pull up quick. Full Clover Kingdom, I swear to God that I'll never quit. Like my illness, my skill is forever sick.
Sacrificing on down, never making a sound, holding evil at bay. Keeping eyes on you through a bird's eye view, locked up and sealed away. 100 years I've been waiting around. Don't doubt my policy, you wanna be bound. Cast your ego aside, better swallow that pride, cause the swallow's gonna make you pay.
Poke the boy, you get the horns. Hold on, let me light a cigarette. I'm smoking on you cowards, only pop the lid is disrespect. I'm a step ahead, so if you disregard my intellect, there won't be a dimension my katana cannot intercept. Hit your heart and turn your life against you, that's an inner threat. And if I interject, your wife won't need to have your dinner prep. Past those limits, look at clap, no finish. We the best, black bulls, no cap, you can get it.
Top of the game, you were legends. Each got the strength of an army. Cut down a man in a second. Don't wanna mess with the sun in. Fists that are stronger than weapons. Stacking a mountain of bodies. We're gonna teach you a lesson. Don't wanna mess with the sun in. Naga, put him in the coffin like Gara. Harder, I'm a grip and tight like Garda's father. Cause I bought sons like his armor. Old hands and Artie looking like Baba Yaga. I make them shake, coming around. They don't stand a chance. A solid snake, hidden sound. You don't hear the experiment on them like Yosis, split him like Moses. I make the cure and diagnosis. I leave you looking like Cleo with venom. I bring the most lethal of doses. Oh shit, swallow them, hold out some throat shit. Bitch, you should know this. Slither and stick with the potions. Focus, conjure and wearing this. Gives like his clothes. Washing these insects and pop them like roaches. Snakes in the grass like it's walk off like a flame. Battle in the valley, will be snakes on a plane. Ain't with the Akaski, but I'm still bringing pain. Even like a Roboris here, I'm doing this again. Medusa, how they change when I'm freezing them in place. Operation like the game when I rearrange their face. Leaving right out unafraid, I reanimate the greats. Adam and Eve, you can't trust a snake. Top of the game, you were legends. Each got the strength of an army. Cut down a man in a second. Don't wanna mess with the sun in. Fists that are stronger than weapons. Stacking a mountain of bodies. We're gonna teach you a lesson. Don't wanna mess with the sun in.
Yeah, it's suit night, I rip shoot buddies. A sick chick that is the fifth Hokage. I've been it, the princess who is Halle. Favorite, I probably headed for Saratame traders. I tried to get a rock to my colleague Dan. If I kept it on me, damn, we'll look out for each other. The thought that I would quit, thought that I would jump ship. But now I'm coming back to avenge my brother. They know me as the medical leader, the ones who powers for strictly be healing. Well, that's what the story told. But I'm giving out knots. I should write in the root, so I guess it's why my name means morning road. But still hands, if you think you're a real man and try to cross me, then you're gonna fall in holes. I leave with generosity, but if they hostile, see, I put my foot down on them and the ground explodes. See, my chakra abilities is obviously realer. I'm healing with my inner spirit, and you should have been killing. This should not be killing your armies. It's a physical difference. I'm in it for bringing the peace, but first I'm bringing the vengeance. I'm gonna be gambling with your life. You better be ready to lose it. And if you try to come on to this, you better be ready to use it. They foolish that they try to ruin me, cause I'm superhuman, and now I'm gonna get my jewel to my student, the roots, I'm gone.
Top of the game, you were legends. Each got the strength of an army. Cut down a man in a second. Don't wanna mess with the sun in. Fists that are stronger than weapons. Stacking a mountain of bodies. We're gonna teach you a lesson. Don't wanna mess with the sun in.
Jiraiya on fire, nobody can match my desires. My mission is filling these women, collecting more waifus than Genshin. Gotcha, Jesus of the hidden village, gathering disciples, writing words like it's the Bible. My dedication is tribal, meditation, survival, I like it old school. Sensei of the pain, when I talk my shit, that's toadstool. Looking for the chosen one to pass the torch. A hidden leaf straight off the willow, cause I whip my hair back and forth. I don't really sweat when the fight go off, so now they don't know that she really in love. Someone got my booty, she could get the tongue. I don't really care where your crew come from. Chakra is grande, I turn on the rider Hokage. Got a slick jaw, yeah. She opening me up when I'm pulling up with my ultra big balls.
Top of the game, you were legends. Each got the strength of an army. Cut down a man in a second. Don't wanna mess with the sun in. Fists that are stronger than weapons. Stacking a mountain of bodies. We're gonna teach you a lesson. Don't wanna mess with the sun in.
Ayo! Hello, Fantastics. It's Mr. Clintastic, preparing to continue a Streets of New Capenna set review for Limited. If you enjoy my content, please be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to help my channel grow in the future. Alright, so we've tackled multicolored, we've tackled white, blue, black, red, and now we're moving on to green. I'm excited about this set. I can't wait to start drafting. I think I think Jun so far is what I'm gonna be trying to go with. I think Jun just has a lot of really powerful spells. So yeah, let's go. Titan of Industry. 7 mana, 4 generic, 3 green. Elemental, Mythic, Reach, Trample. When the ETBs choose 2, destroy target artifact or enchantment. Target player gains 5 life. Create a 4/4 green Rhino Warrior creature token. Put a shield counter on a creature you control. It's a 7/7. Bro, that's okay. Titan of Industry. I don't know how well it's going to play at 7 mana. That's really expensive, but it can get you back in the game. It can gain you 5 life, get you a 4/4, blow up something, or make something damn near indestructible. So I'm liking it. Let's what am I rate it? I got to give it like a 4 to a. I just got to give it a 4 for now. I think it could go up, like depending on how slow the format is. Because if we have a speedy format, this isn't. This is gonna drop instantly to like a 1. But if we have a format where this can get played, it's gonna do well. Next we have Workshop Warchief. 5 mana, 3 generic, 2 green, Rhino Warrior, rare, trample. When it ETBs, you gain 3 life. When it dies, create a 4/4 green Rhino. It has Blitz for 6, and it's a 5/3. Now, and remember, Blitz lets you, Blitz allows you to play it with haste, and then when it dies, you draw a card. So this could essentially, for 6, come in as a 5/3 haste trampler that dies and draws you a card and makes you a 4/4 green Rhino creature token. That's a lot of value in a freaking card. A lot of value. I gotta give this a 4 as well. I just think this is good. Green is looking good so far. Gala Greeters. 2 mana, 1 generic and a green. Creature, elf, druid, rare. Has alliance. Whenever another creature ETBs under your control, choose one that hasn't been chosen this turn. Put a 1/1 counter on it. Create a tapped treasure token. You gain 2 life. It's a 1/1. I think this is really good too. Like, the options on this card is really fantastic. I'm at least giving it a 3. It doesn't have evasion, fine, but it pumps itself every time you play a creature, or you ramp every time you play a creature, or you're gaining a life every time you play a creature. That's ridiculous. Next we have Elegant Entourage. 4 mana, 3 generic and a green, elf, druid, uncommon with alliance. Whenever another creature enters this battlefield under your control, target creature other than Elegant Entourage gets +1/+1 and gains trample until the end of turn. It's a 4/4. It's 4/4 for 4 that can pump the rest of your squad. Green players are gonna love it. I'm gonna give it a 2.9. I gotta see how the green players play it out, but it looks pretty good to me. Doesn't have trample itself though, unfortunately. Can it give itself trample? Target creature other than nope. So yeah, that's kind of why it's right below 3 for me. Next we have Voice of the Vermin. 4 mana, 3 generic, and a green. Creature, human, citizen, uncommon. Voice of the Vermin enters the battlefield with a shield counter on it. Whenever Voice of the Vermin attacks, target creature you control has base, power, and toughness 4/4 until end of turn. It's a 2/2. I'm gonna give this a 1 point. Yeah, this isn't good. Dang, green, you was doing so well. Nothing OP, but still. Voice of the Verb is just a bit too slow for what I would be trying to do. Riveter's Decoy. 2 mana, 1 generic and a green. Creature, human, warrior. Riveter's Decoy must be blocked if able. It has Blitz for 4, and it's a 3/1. I give this a 2.9 as well. Like, that's something I think green players are gonna love doing. Like, I'm gonna play this for 4. Swing in, they got a block, pump it up, and then if my guy dies, cool, I draw a card off of it anyways. Attended Socialite. 2 mana, 1 generic and a green. With Alliance, whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, Attended Socialite gets +1/+1 until end of turn. It's a 2/1. I'll give it a 1.9. Not very impressive. Like, it's just, like, at the end of the day, it's just like a 2-drop 2/1. They can maybe go up by 1. Does not have trample. It's going to be blocked easy. I could block this in my sleep. Alright. Cabaret Initiate. So I guess all of... Okay, now I'm kind of seeing why they separated them like that. Because they all have these little abilities here. Cool. Because I was like, why is it broke down like this? But that's on me. I learned a lesson. Cabaret Initiate, 1 green, creature, raccoon, citizen, common, with an ability of pay 2 generic and a white-red hybrid. It gains double strike until end of turn. 1/2. I'm giving that a 1. That's not... What, too much mana to sink into that for that ability alone. Social Climber, 3 mana, 2 generic and a green. Alliance. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain a life. It's a 3/2. If there's some synergies with gaining life, Social Climber is going to be cool. Otherwise, it's just regular. I'm going to give this a 1.9. Like, I don't know if that's going to win me a game or not. And I haven't recently been having a lot of fortunes with the life gain decks. Next, we have Chaldea Strong Arm, 5 mana, 4 generic, and a green. When it ETBs, put 2 1/1 counters on target creature, and it also has Blitz. It's a 2/3. Green players, show me the way. I'm giving this a 1.5. Y'all got to show me the way, because I feel in my heart green players are going to be like, yes, yes, that's what I want. And I'm like, I don't want that to happen to me, but I don't feel like I could pull it off. Next, we have Rock's Pummeler, 6 mana, 5 generic and a green. Rhino Soldier, common. When it ETBs with a shield counter, has trample as long as it has the shield counter. 6 mana, 6/3. No, I'm giving this a 1. With the shield counter, no, I can block a 3-powered creature in my sleep. It doesn't even have trample. I'll give it a 1.5 to be respectful of what it can do, but no. Alright. Vivian on the Hunt. Hello. 6 mana, 4 generic, 2 green, legendary planeswalker, Vivian. +2, you may sacrifice a creature. If you do, search your library for a creature card with mana value equal to 1 plus the sacrifice creature's mana value, put it on the battlefield, and shuffle. That's dope. +1, mill 5 cards, then put any number of creature cards milled this way into your hand. Not dope. Neg 1, create a 4/4 green Rhino 5. Instant 5. You can do that 4 times before it dies. So you play this for 6, you can make 4 freaking... Yeah, no questions. It's a 5 for me. And the first ability is great too. And I'm sure the middle ability isn't horrible. If we can get to 6 mana, we're going to be in great shape with Vivian, and you'll want to get there. Next is Bootlegger's Stash. 6 mana, 5 generic and a green. Artifact, lands you control have tap, create a treasure token. I'm going to give this a 1. I feel like that's just a trap. Like, what you going to do with all them treasures by the time you play 6? Topiary Stomper, 3 mana, 1 generic, 2 green. Plant Dinosaur, Plant Dinosaur rare, Vigilance. ETB, search your library for a basic land. Put it onto the battlefield, tapped and shuffle. It can't attack or block unless you have 7 or more lands. I'm gonna get this a 2.9. Actually, no, I'm giving it a 3. It straight up puts a land onto the battlefield. It's not legendary. You can play multiple copies of it. It has vigilance. Yeah, you need the 7 or more lands. So you'll want to, yeah, I give it a 2.9. The 7 or more lands might make it worse. Might just make it a ramp spell with like a ghost body, but we'll see. Fight Rigging. 3 mana, 2 generic and a green, enchantment with Hideaway 5. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. If you control a creature with power 7 or greater, you may play the exile card without paying its mana cost. I think I like this better than some. I'm kind of forgetting what the last one was, but this puts a counter on your creatures every turn. That's pretty dope. Then all you had to do is have a creature with power 7 or greater and play something for free. Okay, I'm gonna give this a give it a 2.5. Kind of like an enabler type deal, or like a engine. That's how I see it. Okay, I don't think I thought any of them were that great. Fight Rigging is actually pretty dope. Next we have Evolving Door. 3 mana, 2 generic and a green. Artifact, pay 1, tap, sacrifice a creature. Count the colors of the sacrificed creature, then search your library for a creature card that's exactly that many colors plus 1. Exile that card, then shuffle. You may cast the exile card. Activate only as a sorcery. Just for giving me such a confusing description, you get a 1. But really, I just don't see that being good for me. I think some people play it decently enough. Bouncer's Beatdown. Three generic, 3 mana, 2 generic and a green, instant. Costs 2 less to cast if it targets a black permanent. Deals X damage to target creature or planeswalker where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. If that creature or planeswalker would die this turn, exile it instead. That's going to be like the green player's premium removal. I'm going to give it a 3. I'm going to just say 3 plus for now and see how high it goes. But that's going to be green's premium removal right there. Take to the Streets. 5 mana, 4 generic and a green. Sorcery, uncommon. Creatures you control get +2/+2 until end of turn. Citizens you control get an additional +1/+1 and gain vigilance until end of turn. I'm just going to give that a 1. It's too expensive. It's too expensive. I mean, if you make an army, great. I'm happy for you. But I'm not going to be investing my time into that spell. Next we have Cleanup Crew. 6 mana, 4 generic, 2 green. Human Citizen, uncommon. ETBs, choose 1. Destroy target artifact, destroy target enchantment, exile target card from a graveyard, or you gain 6 life. You gain 4 life. 6 mana, 6/6. I'm gonna give it a 2. I wish it had trample. I think it might go up to a 2.9. Because I think green players, if they ramp, which I'm not, we have a lot of treasures. We don't have a lot of ramp, but we have, like, consistent ramp, but we have a lot of treasures. So it just depends on that. Venom Connoisseur. 2 mana, 1 generic and a green. Creature, Human Druid, Uncommon. Alliance. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, Venom Connoisseur gains Death Touch until end of turn. If this is the second time this ability has resolved this turn, all creatures you control gain Death Touch until end of turn. Do we have something to go with Finn in Standard? That would be fairly dope if we have something to go with Finn in Standard. 2-drop, 2/2 that can give your whole squad Death Touch. I'll give it a 2 at the least. It could go up. But by itself, I'm just like, it's not winning you a game by itself. Freelance Muscle. 5 mana, 4 generic and a green. Rhino Warrior, uncommon. Whenever it attacks or blocks, it gets +X until end of turn, where X is the greatest power or toughness among other creatures you control. 5 mana, 4/4 that can pump itself. I'm going to give it a 2. It's still kind of expensive. Does not have trample. I'll just have to see how it works. Courier's Briefcase. 2 mana, 1 generic and a green. Artifact Treasure, uncommon. When it enters the battlefield... Oh, I believe I talked about this in the multicolored section, but when it enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 green and white creature token. I think that's nice. Sacrifice it, add a mana of any color. Cool, and then you can pay 5 colors to draw 3 cards. I really forgot what I rated it before. But after everything I've learned about the format so far, I'm like, this is kind of just like a 2. Or everything I've seen from the format, from the set. ETBs make you a token. Sack ramps, potentially draws you 3. This could be a 2 to 2.5. Definitely not winning you any games, and the draw ability is pretty intensive. Luxurious Libation. X green instant uncommon. Target creature gets +X until end of turn. Create a 1/1 green and white citizen creature token. I'll give it a 1.5. Just a support spell. It could block the opponent, but that seems real fringe to me. For the Family. A green spell. Instant. Target for 1 mana, 1 green. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. If you control 4 or more creatures, that creature gets +4/+4 until end of turn. 1. The support spells most times is going to get a 1 from me unless they're an engine. Civic Gardener. 2 mana, 1 generic and a green. Human Citizen. When it attacks, untap target creature or land. I like that. 2 to 2.5 for me. And then, and I have to see if it plays any better than what it looks like, but seems really solid to untap your land. But at the same time, I don't know. Broken Wings, I give a 1. I hardly ever play Broken Wings. I don't want to see it in multiples. I'd rather just have a blow up card. It can be solid, but it could go up depending on the format. Warm Welcome, 3 mana, 2 generic and a green, instant. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card from among them and put into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Create a 1/1 green and white green and white citizen creature token. It's like making an instant speed 1/1 for 3 that lets you tutor a creature or try to find a creature. I'll give it a 2 to 2.5. Like a 1/1 isn't the Hulk, but a 1/1 that can potentially block for you or be the citizen you need for other abilities while you're also finding a spell in your green deck. Okay. High Rise Saljak, 3 mana, 2 generic and a green. Elf Citizen common with reach. Whenever it blocks a creature with flying, it gets +2/+0 till end of turn. It's a 2/3. I'll give that a 2. It's just a solid card. Not game ending. Glitter Monger. 4 mana, 3 generic and a green. Elf Rogue. Common. You can tap it, create a treasure token. It's a 1/4. Not really impressed. I'm going to give it a 1.9 because it's really expensive to do what it does, right? Really expensive. Capenna Express. 4 mana, 3 generic and a green. Artifact vehicle. Sacrifice a treasure. Capenna Express becomes an artifact creature until end of turn. Crew 3, it's a 6/6. I'm going to give that 2.9. I'm really excited to see how people play that. Like, it's common. So it's a 4-drop 6/6 that can be crewed with treasures. This could easily go up in value. Just got to see. Prize Fight. 2 mana, 1 generic and a green instant. Target creature you control fights target creature you don't control. Create a treasure token. I'll get that a 2.9 as well. I'm not the best at evaluating the green spells, especially fight spells, because those don't normally work out for me. Next we have Most Wanted. 3 mana, 2 generic and a green. Enchantment Aura, common with flash. Enchant creature. Creature gets +2/+1. When enchanted creature dies, create 2 treasure tokens. That's a 1 for me. For me, I can see people playing it and me being like, oh man, they got mad value off that, but I'm hoping not to have to. And next we have Jewel Thief. 3 mana, 2 generic and a green. Cat Rogue, Vigilance, Trample. ETBs, create a treasure token. It's a 3/3. Bro, what? Why is this common? It's a 3-drop Vigilant Trample that ETBs and create a treasure. This gets a 4 from me. It's really 4+. And I'm going to have to see how that rocks, but that looks amazing. Alright. So that completes the green portion of the limited review. Green looking solid. So now all that's left is the freaking lands and artifacts. So I'm going to take a quick break. And then we're just going to wrap up lands and artifacts, hopefully together. If you enjoy my content, please be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to help my channel grow in the future. As always, you guys are fantastic. My name is Mr. Clintastic. I'll be right back for the rest of this new Capenna set review for Limited.
Came to battle with the masters, crumble, turn them to ashes. Not gonna have a chance if your class is this passive. We're massive. I'm bringing the league into victory, placing fingers individually. 1, 2, 3, watching me pinky make history. Live with these injuries, shatter like glasses. I'm redefining this era. My plan is in motion, it's almost done. My presence will fill you with terror. Inherited power from all for one. I can do this all night. Pick apart the pathetic cult that worships all might. This is what I had to be held onto by my family. Tactician on a mission, you cannot beat all my strategies. Killing and bringing the casualty, the weight in my heart causing agony. Displaying a brain that's amazing, decaying insane, cause I'm making a world for catastrophe.
Kurogiri, I'm getting really excited. Who's the villain that's kinda tricky to fight with? Disappear, put the fear inside and I like it. In the dark, I can see you nearing the light switch. Certain you're hurting, we're turning you on, so uncertain with teleportation. If you find anyone killing the veterans, better I'll need a citation. I ain't just playing the role of a villain, I seriously am a pig nanny. Passing it over, I'm hoping you're choking them before you burn them up, dad.
Yeah, the illest villain is superstar. I've been taking expectations, shooting them through the bar. Watch me murder every single hero, you see the scars. Incinerating corpses into portions to keep them jarred. Won't make it far. ain't nobody do it like me. I can make a Baku go flame, cold as icy. Got the league right beside me. Might slap Midoriya if he keeps acting feisty. I'm a monster, you imposters are preposterous. Stay anonymous, torching everybody is the hobby. Murder is the job, should've never stepped to Derby. Yeah.
Pulling on my mask on the Titans, just put a bullet in your back, see your life in a flash. Got the gas on tap, I can map your path. Think you're better than me cause you're in a UA class. It's mustard but not the colonel. Shots be popping off like a kernel. I am sure vexed, this vortex will be the cause of your death.
Look, man, I got a summary. Got a team of two, a double team. Have you ever met the other me? Got a secret and I'm keeping it underneath. You'll let I'm one of a kind. Now you're facing your demise. Come on, anybody try. Killing myself many times. I've got some demons that I've been dealing with inside. Yeah, I get it, though a minute. Gotta show them what they're missing. I don't even know the mission, but lately I feel like I'm somebody different. So here I go throwing the dice. I am here to change your life and maybe give out some advice. I'm only doing what is right, so if I'm giving you a chance, you know I ain't giving it twice.
Bloodthirsty, I just came to further cause damage. Muscle fiber so outrageous that my skin can't manage to contain all the power that my body will produce. I'm sadistic, watch me walk into this camp and kill the youth. I'll put you in predicament, smashing right through your ligaments. These little kids are ignorant of violence in the hero bit. I'm lacking all compassion, you won't see me caught caring. Mercilessly killing heroes, watch me body bag parents.
You're messing with a psychotic in bondage. No test that God it was chomping on all of your flesh. If it's spotted, you won't survive in this carnage. Sharp teeth will slice through fucking all of your bodies. Caustic when I kill off the lesser race in the story.
Feel the knife dig deeper in your spine. Feels nice when I take another life. Do or die, love the rush of doing crimes. Nice try, you can run, but now you're mine. Slicing up, cutting you down, like nobody's around. Love when you're making sounds, bleeding all over the ground. Never be found, pretty pathetic, you face your demise. With your blood ingested, I perfected my disguise. Call me Toger, hear my name, and then it's over. Not maintaining my composure when the smell is drawing closer. Killing, filling, sowing, bringing a shimmering end.
Ayo! Hello, Fantastic. It's Mr. Clintastic, preparing to jump back into the Streets of New Capenna set review for Limited. If you enjoy my content, please be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to help my channel grow in the future. Alright. I've went over all the multicolored spells. I've gone over all of the monocolored spells. So now it's time to tackle lands and artifacts. So I guess I'll go over artifacts first, since those are kind of the permanents, and then we'll wrap up with the lands. I hope you all enjoy this set review. I've had a blast. It's really been informational for me to kind of get acquainted with all of the spells before I jump into the draft format. So we only have a few artifacts. Let's get right to it. Alright, we have Luxior, Giada's Gift, 1 generic, legendary artifact equipment, mythic. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each counter on it. Equipped permanent isn't a planeswalker. Equipped permanent isn't a planeswalker and is a creature in addition to its other types. Equipped planeswalker for 1. Equipped for 3. Oh man, they want the walkers to step to the table and do some work, right? Like the concept of this card is what I like, because I can turn my Nicobolas, I can turn my Ugin into a fighter, bro. Now I don't think it's good for limited. I don't. You're not gonna really have the walker for it. I think it's kind of bad for limited, but in other formats, I think that's gonna be kind of respectable. I'm giving it a 1 for limited. I'm not gonna pick that. Next we have Unlicensed Hearse. 2 mana, 2 generic. Artifact vehicle rare. Tap, exile up to 2 target cards from a single graveyard. Unlicensed Hearse power and toughness are equal to the number of cards exiled with it. Crew for 2. That's not looking... Okay, now I get it. You could do this multiple turns, and you can make this so that it could be a 4, a 6, a 8. Okay, I was about to write this off. I think this is actually pretty good. Yeah. You'll want things in their graveyard, but you'll be clearing out their graveyard and making your creature even better. I'm gonna give this a. I gotta see how it plays. I'm gonna give it a 2.9 for now, but I think that could easily go up to like a 3.5. Next, we have Getaway Car. 3 generic artifact vehicle with haste. Whenever it attacks or blocks, return up to one target creature that crewed it this turn to its owner's hand. Crew 1. It's a 4/3. It has haste, but it's not like there was one that had haste, and if the turn it came out, it crewed itself or something. I like that. This, not so much. I think you'd want to pair it with something that had like good ETBs or something, because you wouldn't want to return tokens at all. I'm gonna give this like a. I'll give this a 2. Brass Knuckles, 4 generic. Artifact equipment. When you cast a spell, copy it. Equipped creature has double strike as long as 2 or more equipment are attached to it. I don't know how to evaluate this one. Like, it makes the component necessary to enable it. You could like give it to a flyer. I'm kind of on the fence with this. I'm gonna give it like a 1.9. I got it. Like, I'm not big, and that's good for me to give it a 1.9. I'm not big on support spells, especially some that cost like 4 mana. But anything that makes a copy of itself, I'm kind of interested in. Cement Shoes, 1 generic artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +3/+3 and has at the beginning of your end step. Tap this creature. Equipped creature doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. Equipped for 2. They really blowing my mind with some of these abilities. So you could play this for 1, equip it to your creature, swing in, and then equip it to their creature, so that I don't know. I'm gonna give this a 1.25. I'm hoping someone shows me how good it is, because at the moment I'm like, it's really just kind of hazy for me. Next, we have Scuttling Butler, 3 generic artifact creature construct uncommon. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you control 2 or more multicolored permanents, Scuttling Butler gains double strike until end of turn. Wow. That could be really good. That could be really good. I'm giving that a 2.9. I think it's probably a 2.5, but I think multiples of that, just 4/2 double strikers for 3. Hoo-wee. Next, we have Arc Splitter. 1 generic equipment uncommon. Equipped creature has pay 1. This creature does 1 damage to target creature that's blocking it, and equip for 1. I don't want to do that. I'll give it a 1 as playable, but I'm not a fan of Arc Splitter. It's not even giving it like plus anything. Oh, I've seen Suspicious Bookcase before. Suspicious Bookcase, 2 generic artifact creature wall with defender. You can pay 3, tap it. Target creature can't be blocked this turn. It really just depends on the deck. It really depends on the deck. I'm gonna give it a 1.9. It's right there. Because it's not gonna win you the game at all. But it could enable you to win the game. Next, we have Gilded Pinions, 2 generic artifact equipment. When Gilded Pinions enters the battlefield, create a treasure token. Equipped creature has flying, equipped for 2. I like that. I'm gonna give it a 1.9 too, because like I said, the equip spells, the support spells, they're very questionable. It really depends on what you draft and how good you can play them. But there's some cards it's like, dang, it don't even matter how good you play. It's like if it's a five, as long as you're not just absolutely just terrible, you should be able to come back. Next we have Quick Draw Dagger, 3 generic. Artifact equipment, flash. When it ETBs, attach it to target creature you control. That creature gains first strike until end turn. Equipped creature gets +1/+1, and it's equipped for 1. It's 3 mana. I mean, it's respectable. I'll give it a 1.5. I doubt I play it, though. I just doubt it. I like Gilded Pinions more, simply because it gives flying and makes a treasure. Quick Draw Dagger, I just don't know. Paragon of Modernity. Paragon of Modernity. 4 generic artifact creature, Angel Warrior with flying. Pay 3. It gets +1/+1 until end of turn. If exactly 3 colors of mana were spent to activate this ability, put a 1/1 counter on it instead. 4 mana, 2/2 flyer. I'm not gonna want to do that. I'm gonna put it at like 1.5. Maybe it's playable, but that looks real ugly to me. Ominous Parcel, 1 generic artifact, common, 2 generic, tap, sacrifice it, search your library for basic land, reveal it, put in your hand, then shuffle. Pay 5, tap, sack. It deals 4 damage to target creature. Okay. Okay, it can find you lands you need and it can kill creatures. I'm gonna put this at like 2.5. I hope I'm not rating that too high, but that looks fairly solid to me. Like, you can run multiples of those and not be upset because late in the game it's gonna help you get rid of threats. Halo Scarab, 2 generic artifact creature insect. Pay 2, exile it from your graveyard, create a treasure token. It's 2/1. 1.9. Not the most exciting, but you know you might get some value off of it. Maybe some sack abilities, enjoy it or something. Chrome Cat, 3 generic artifact creature, cat. ETBs, scry 1. It's a 3/2. It's kind of like a 1.9 for me as well. It's just, it's just not doing enough. All right, so I believe that wraps it up for the artifacts. So yeah, now all we got to do is go through the lands, and I'm just gonna slam right through those. I don't think there's no rating to the lands. Well, I guess some of them, because there are some that aren't specifically the cycle lands. So I can just do these in a nutshell. Raffine's Tower is the white, blue, black Esper cycle land. Xander's Lounge is the blue, black, red Grixis cycle land. The Ziatora's Proving Ground is the black, red, green Jund cycle land. The Jetmir's Garden is the red, green, white Naya cycle land. And Spara's Headquarters is the green, white, blue Bant cycle land. Cycle meaning discard for 3 and draw a card, which is really nice. Let's look at the rest of these lands here. Obscura Storefront. All of these are colorless. When it ETBs, sacrifice it. When you do, search the library for a basic plains, island, or swamp. Put it onto the battlefield. Tap, then shuffle your library. Gain a life. Okay. So this looks to be a cycle. Obscura Storefront. Maestro's Theater. Okay. Obscura Storefront's going to do that for plains, island, swamp, and gain you a life. Maestro's Theater is going to do that for an island, swamp, or mountain, Grixis, and gain you a life. Riveter's Outlook is going to do that for a swamp, mountain, or forest, Jund, gain you a life. Cabaret Courtyard is going to do it for a mountain, forest, or plains, Naya, gain your life, and Broker's Hideout's going to do it for a forest, plains, or island bent and gain your life. Okay, so instantly sacks itself. Kind of interesting. And we have a few dual color lands, Skybridge Towers, white, blue, and you can sacrifice it, draw a card. Waterfront District, blue, black, sacrifice it for 4, draw a card. Tramway Station, you can sacrifice it, draw a card, red, black. Green, red, Racer's Ring, sacrifice it, draw a card. And Botanical Plaza, green, white, sacrifice it, draw a card. And we get to see some of the cool looking Streets of New Capenna lands here. Looking, I know I'm going to want these lands. The swamp's not looking that exciting. The blue one's kind of cool. So yeah, that will do it for my initial Streets of New Capenna limited set review. I love to draft. Drafting is my favorite format, and I'm going to be doing my best to draft Streets of New Capenna as much as possible. The goal is to hit Mythic, so if you want to see the ups and downs of that journey, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe so you know when I go live in the future. You can join my Mr. Clintastic Facebook group on Facebook. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I stream on YouTube. I'm everywhere. So I really hope y'all enjoyed this limited set review. I hope you come back in the future. As always, you guys are fantastic. My name's Mr. Clintastic. I'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, surgeon of death, I remember the nerves from your head, certainly dead. Submarine cause I emerged from the depths, cut them clean, I got no words to be said. Fuck you mean you never heard on the best. Chorus on how they ain't making a noise when I roll with my boys, they be turning them red. Shout out to Beppo, there's beasts in my circle of friends. Heart pirates from my gang, we stay heartless. Start fires when I load up the cartridge. Hardwired, I've been used to the carnage. War dog, I leave him hurt when I give him the boot like a martyr. Who's fucking asking? Lay down the law, I'm not using no pardons. Step in my room and I'm moving compartments. Shambles, breaking my apart like I'm fusing with carbon.
Yeah, got a war in the pool, I got beats on the air and they ready to shoot. I ain't talking my fruit. You get played like a flu, ride around with my crew, better give me the loot. I'm playing with a scratch man, bang with a backhand, strife in the badlands, crazy and madman, staying in the trash can, gang in the back, long arm staying on me, finna spray with a strap. Pulling up with uses, Drake get the shooting, and the way we moving, ain't a thing you doing, bringing pain with music. See my gang get stupid, can't avoid my moves, and no, we ain't disputing. If you hear him, bet you disappearing, hear him before you see him, know you better fear him. Shot the coast is clear, they running, can't get near him. When it's said and done, the world is gonna revere him.
Metal grip it, leather tin is red to spill it. Get them sent into the medic clinic. Magnetic with it, any ferrous dimmers, they gon' know the score like this is Metacritic. Got some brass bollocks, all these coppers, I'm making them sink. Gibson attacking the amp noise. Boy got the gears like it's clink, clank, clink. Like join together, but don't call them me alloys. More of attraction, chicks get in the field. Covering all the bullets and a bend of the steel. Draw them out, I call them north and south. I got two poles for them, they step in my field. Kid the killer with the killer, hit the kill the bigger figures and the sinner, sick of fan. Pin a victim and I'll trim a wicked man. Literally, I'm just built different.
I got two sides swinging through the wind. Leave them chopped and trimmed. Used our luck up, story so fucked up. Where should I begin? Cards always said survival was sin. Mask on my face, I'm hiding my grin. We done lost so many, it's just me and King. So I guess you could say that killer is pissed. I got two blades, leave him two paid, I don't need third. Mask on, laughing to myself, I don't say a word. Already get the medal for you cleaving, never glass squeezing, that's too easy. I'ma support the ambitious, my captain his wishes, regardless of whatever problem. All of y'all struggles fictitious.